Welcome, mortal kind, to Quest Accepted, I was going to say Dungeons and Dragons, but we may not be doing that all the time, a tabletop role-playing game run by a bunch of fucking nerds. If you are watching this is our episode 3? Yeah, 3 of our prequel campaign for Vagari and Sabhir. Thank you for following us on Patreon if you're watching this on Patreon. If you're not following this on Patreon, then you're welcome. Excellent content for you. I don't really have any announcements since this is really just the reward, so we can just kind of dive right in, right? Everybody cool with that?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Fantastic.
I'm the coolest. The
Then
coolest
allow
of
me
cools.
to set
That's
the
super
mood.
cute.
When last... There you go. Last time, you arrived in Raim, one of the many smaller towns along one of the veins of the Nar Delta. After a tenuous encounter with some local guards, you made your way to the Dance of the Jinn, where you proceeded to rest for the night. But not before Vagari, in her excitement for more luxurious amenities than she's used to, decided to jump and subsequently break the bed with her massive Goliath form. The following day, you collected your confiscated weapons and decided to do a bit of shopping. Having resupplied and ready to move on, you joined a caravan led by the half-orc Hilda and Nash, the hobgoblin. They are Sajan expats who are acting as mercenaries/bodyguards, ferrying people across the harsh Elkushan landscape. The noonday sun hangs overhead in the clear blue Elkushan sky, and the sounds of the hustle and bustle of the busy bazaars of Raim slowly fade as you make your way on the road to Haya. A few hours into your journey, the only sounds heard are the creaking of wood of the caravan carriages as they are pulled along, and the desert wind lightly rustling the canvas covers of the carriages and the few eucalyptus, sycamore, and palm trees on the road. The vegetation diminishing in presence as you make your way further from the Nar. You are, as I mentioned, traveling with Hilda and Nash, the half-orc and hobgoblin, respectively. There's a few other people in your party. You noticed a female elf, a male dwarf, and a male halfling that all seem to be behaving like siblings. You don't need insight checks for this. I'm just giving you this for free. It's pretty evident. There is a guy covered in like desert wraps with a haversack and a bow. He's the only other person who is armed aside from you guys. A female elf, a male human, and a male dwarf. That it seems like they're not really cohesively put together. They're kind of just like they met there. And then there is a single solo dwarf who's just consistently scribbling incessantly in his notebook. He has like these big Coke bottle glasses. The last thing that you guys basically spoke about with Hilda, you guys had a meeting before leaving. Hilda was explaining that a ranged fighter with a close combat fighter are basically the people that's going to be on watch at a time, and the other two will be, I guess, resting for whatever rest you could find as you guys are moving along. Vagari, you are with Nash on the watches, and Sabhir and Khadija, you are with Hilda on the watches. Sabhir, you were given the role of kind of protector of the group inside the main caravan. Remember, there are 2 carriages, one that holds the people, one that holds the supplies and the baggage. So Sabhir, imagine you're kind of like on call. The carriages are being pulled by 4 horses. Nash is sitting at the front. And as of right now, everybody's kind of inside the carriages. There's nobody walking around. So there's enough space for 3 people very squeezed together at the front. Usually 2 people will sit at the front. So the driver and then 1 person next to them riding shotgun, essentially. And then the rest of the people will be inside the canvas-covered caravan. Think like Oregon Trail sort of carriages. What would you all like? Oh, and Hayam is flying high in the sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, just give me a perception check for Hayam.
Oh boy, my dumb bird.
While she's rolling, can we ask who's in each caravan?
Yeah, so the front caravan has all the people, the back caravan has all the luggage. So everybody's together.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm protecting over the people. So I'm in
Yeah,
the front.
so essentially what it is that the carriage has two like benches on either side. So everybody's just sitting next to each other in that bench, and then on the front, perpendicular to those two benches, are Nash, the driver currently, and then whoever would be sitting next to Nash. Hilda did explain previously that typically you would have the person in the front and then somebody walking behind. So that is like more typical, but that'll be probably later down the road. You guys are still. Hilda explained that it was it was a safer area for the first few hours of travel. Trouble doesn't really meet you until you're much further in the desert. So what did Hayam roll?
He got a 15.
15. Okay. So I'm gonna say that right now. How do you typically communicate with Hayam?
That's a good question. I think he'll squawk typically if there's like if he sees like individuals in the distance, and if it's a lot of them, he'll like make more rapid squawks. Like basically the more things there are, the more he chirps.
Fair enough. Yeah, as of right now, I mean, there are people kind of coming and going. The closer you are to a city or town, typically the denser the traffic is. So it's nothing out of the ordinary at the moment. There's nothing that grabs Hayam's attention. But now, scene is yours.
Alright. We were told which positions to take, right?
Yes. So right now nobody's like on duty. Nash is in the driver's seat and Hilda is just sitting inside well, I guess she would be in the driver's seat next to Nash, and then I would imagine the three of you are kind of like closer to the front of the carriage in particular, kind of like imagine like like on a road trip, mom and dad are in the driver's seat and passenger seat, and then directly behind them would be like the three kids. You guys are effectively in the position of the three kids, except you're facing each other instead of all sitting on the same plane, if that makes sense.
Okay. I guess I'll turn to the two of them and say, okay, you understand what your job is on this?
For the most part.
Yes, I believe for the next couple of hours we're just riding along with I'm sorry, I don't believe I caught all of your names. I know Hilda and Nash, we met them in Namib, but who are the rest of you?
You say this to the entire group?
Yeah.
You're like getting the attention of it. They're all having like small little like their own private conversations or whatever.
I like
You're
the
just
idea that, like, people are like minding their own business, someone just shouts at them, "Who are you?"
I mean, is that what you're doing?
I mean, yeah, we have a long trip, so we might as well get to know one another. Especially if
Who are you?
my life Who are you? I'm just gonna start being really nasally the rest of this caravan ride. No.
And you know what? You should be sorry, because I didn't come up with names for every motherfucker on this goddamn fucking caravan. Thanks a fucking lot.
Wait, but we can count out how many they are. You know what? You said I could claim to know people before, so I'll say I know everybody.
Your improv experience is about to go through the roof.
Let's name generator out.
Oh, this is beautiful.
So you stand up and you say, I know Nash and Hilda, but I don't know all of you people.
And basically, we're going to be in this caravan for a few hours. I think it would be good to get to know each other. Our lives are in each other's hands after all. So, what is your story?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, God. Persuasion.
That way, if we have to play cards, pass the time.
I rolled an 11.
You rolled an 11. All right. The dwarf with the Coke bottles that's scribbling in his notebook is all the way in the back, and he's just like engrossed by like whatever he's scribbling down. He's not even paying attention. The guy in the wraps with the haversack, he is sitting right next to you. So imagine you're on one side, and then I guess Sabhir and Khadija are on the other side opposite you. So he's the one sitting next to you. He just kind of like he like has his haversack between his legs. He just looks up at you, and then just like goes back to like looking at whatever it is that he's doing. I will say the three that look like that are behaving like siblings. The female elf, the dwarf, and the halfling, male dwarf and male halfling. The female elf, she kind of like looks at you and goes, my name is Maria. These are my brothers, Garnel and Rickert. And Garnel, the dwarf, nods, and Rickert just kind of gives you a little bit of a wave. The other female elf in the caravan kind of like perks up, and she goes, "Oh, my name is also Maria." And I'm sorry, I forgot you gentleman's name. The male human says that his name is Charlie. He goes, "I'm Charlie. Nice to meet everybody. I guess we're doing an awkward sort of like how when teachers do like the everybody say a fun fact about yourself. That's who you
God, I
are
hate
right
that.
now.
I hate
That's
that. I hate myself
That's who
right
you
now.
are. Yes, yes.
It's fine. I'm rolling with it.
Yeah,
It won't
And
be
then-
awkward for long, Charlie.
yeah. And then the male dwarf goes, I'm Thrallum. Good to meet you all. I like digging holes. I dig a diggy hole."
Wait, which one said that?
Thrallum, the dwarf, the male dwarf. You haven't gotten the other dwarf that's scribbling in his notes. You haven't got his name yet, and the guy in the bandages. You haven't really gotten his name yet.
What does it look like the guy in the bandages is doing? Anything?
Make an insight check.
Insight. Ha!
And you know what? Everybody make a perception check.
That is a. Where's my insight? That's
I rolled an 11
17.
again.
15.
17.
Vagari, have you been rolling with disadvantage?
Damn it. Hang on. Well, I rolled 2 11, so if we want to count that.
Sure, we'll count those. So this will be a
So,
disadvantage for your persuasion.
I got a
for
nat
your
1,
perception.
so
nat one.
perception, nat 1, yeah.
The desert is hot, but not compared to the heat that goes down your column for making this situation just for some reason super fucking awkward. Khadija, what did you roll on your?
I got a 17.
That was your insight on the bandage guy.
Yeah.
He's. let me see.
Are you my mummy?
You my dad? He looks. So he's all wrapped in bandages. You can't even tell what race this person is. And he's got like desert goggles in. There's no wind, there's no desert storm, there's no nothing.
He's a
But he still has the
Tusken
goggles
Raider.
on. Like and he's all covered up. Think like
He's a Tusken
Uh,
Raider from Star Wars, right? Basically.
yeah, basically. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's right. So he's a Tusken Raider from Star Wars. He as much as you could glean off of somebody who's completely covered in bandages or whatever, or these desert wraps, he seems kind of deep in thought. You get the sense that he's just like really focused on his thoughts. He's just like really entranced with his own thoughts. He was broken out of his reverie for a minute when Vagari kind of just like said to the group, "Hey everybody, let's get to know each other." But he just kind of goes back to do what he's doing. He's like, "I'm not fucking dealing with this." That's what you get from that. And then Sabhir, what did you roll?
I rolled a 15 on perception.
15 on your perception. You notice Hilda and Nash kind of like
We're getting to know everybody. Round table. Everybody say a great fact about themselves. Hilda, you go first.
make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Yes, Hilda, please. I would love to hear what you have to say. I think it's very good exercise for everyone to get to know each other.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
So that was a 2 and a 5. So 3.
She pretends she can't hear you. It is. I like to clarify. It is dead silent in the desert. She pretends she can't hear you.
I turn to Sabhir. Davim, obviously this group is not very friendly. I don't know why they're going to Haya, but if we see them in the arena, I will keep this in mind.
She didn't have to even say anything. I just now know she is mysterious.
Yes, some groups. So I guess it's just us three talking since nobody else wants to really do much to pass the time.
Well, Maria, Garnell, Rickert, other Maria, Charlie, and Throlin are happy to converse with you.
I just want to say that Khadija is like observing all this and finds it really amusing, the attempt to like socialize with everybody.
Well, at the very least, Maria, you're very nice and friendly. Why are you going to Haya?
Which one are you
Both
talking
Marias perk up and they just kind of like, oh, well, oh, no, you first. No, I insist, you first. Well, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It is my pleasure. No, what are you doing to go into Haya? Well, this is the Maria with the Alcutian accent is the one with the siblings. The Maria with the English accent is the one who's speaking now. This is what happens when you put me on the spot. Well, I'm going to Haya because I won these tickets in a raffle to see the opening of the gladiatorial fights in the new arena. And Garnell and Rickert also. We're all from Sagen, and we all got the prize in the lottery, so we're all going to enjoy the festivities and the fights.
Oh, very interesting. So you will be seeing me and my Davin in the arena then?
I just kind of perk up.
You all are fighters? You're gladiators?
Yes, we are debuting in the opening night.
It will be quite an experience. And if you could, maybe place a little coin on us.
Make a persuasion check.
It's gonna be a Ultra 7.
She kind of like, she looks at Vagari and she's all like smiling, like, yeah, and then she sees you and she goes like, yes, absolutely, no, for sure.
No, you can put as much coin on us. You will get back whatever the price is.
Yes.
Can I
yes.
tell that she's like just being nice?
Make an insight check.
with a
Disadvantage, yes.
So
You're
I rolled
exhausted.
a 7.
Um,
Which is so annoying because it would have been a 20, damn it.
she's definitely gonna bet on you guys.
Okay.
She's 100% gonna like basically whatever's in her wallet, the whole thing. She's betting on you.
Yeah, so I have to ask, if you're going to Haya to watch the arena, why are you on this mission with us as far as protecting the caravans goes?
We're not protecting the caravan. You are. We're just. We're
Wait.
the people you're protecting.
Wait,
Yeah,
we're
see,
protecting the caravan? I thought you were protecting the caravan.
Her eyes go wide, and she just kind of like. Wait.
We're only
My apologies.
we're only gladiators. We don't fight outside. We fight inside.
My My apologies. Davin, don't scare the poor girl. I'm sorry, Marissa. I thought that maybe all of us were guarding the goods as on our way to Haya. I thought that maybe you were also protecting the goods that we were transporting.
Well, my name is Maria, not
Maria.
Marissa.
My apologies. There a lot of names were thrown at me.
Only
Yes,
two
it's-
Marias.
I think it'd be interesting the person who wanted to get all the attention of everyone and get to know each other would try to learn our names properly, but you know, I don't know your customs.
It's fine. Look,
Davin, very friendly people on this caravan, eh?
They're very friendly.
You insulted
wait.
her.
Wait, I'm trying to remember. Did you guys ever introduce yourselves with like full names, or did you just say that you're arena fighters?
I think we just said we were arena fires. We didn't introduce
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah, we didn't introduce.
Okay, I'm gonna lean
Tell
over
us
to
your
them and be like-
names. We say nothing.
I'm gonna lean over.
Khadija?
I'm gonna lean over to them and be like, "This is also the part where you introduce yourself."
Okay. I am Sabhir. It is a pleasure for all of you.
And
Again,
I am
bet on
I am
us.
and I am Vagari. And to me and my David's point, we don't get out often. We don't meet a lot of people, so it's very overwhelming to be in a group of many people to converse with. So I apologize if our social etiquette is not up to your standards.
Garnell kind of pipes up and he's like, right, well, that's understandable. Clearly, you're used to a little more rugged sort of people. I understand. I get it. No, you're fine. Doesn't offend me at all.
Yes, thank you. Yes, normally we learn names and they die 15 minutes later, so it's nice to meet friends. I'm at least calling you friends if you acknowledge it. That will perhaps be with us conversing for the rest of this trip.
Garnell and Rickert kind of look at each other and just kind of like, right, yeah, no, you make connections and you die 15 minutes later, sure.
That's where
And-
we have a hard time with names. But we're getting better.
Charlie pipes up and what is it like fighting in the arena?
Terrible.
Is it scary?
Let's be put this way. First time I fought in the arena, I will say I was very empathetic. I was very caring of people to the extent that it was detrimental to me. And in the arena, that's not how it goes. You either kill or you be killed. You are injured or you injure someone else. And so I think after a while, very quickly in the arena, you kind of normalize it. You numb yourself to the pain that is associated with it. And honestly, at this point, I think me and Davin are so experienced in the arena that it doesn't really faze us anymore. If anything, it's quite nice to be out there and be seen by others in a way that makes us feel like we're known. We're something.
The six of them kind of look a little like sympathetic, but also a little horrified, what you just said.
Even if you win the fight, the survivability is pretty low because you have to go to someone to stitch you up, like me. And I learned firsthand. So survivability is low.
Yes, but to add on to what Davin is saying, we have been fighting for, gosh, how long would you say now? I mean, I've been fighting for close to probably 7 years in the arena, more or less, and Davin's been in the arena for a while, and we're still alive and well, so all the more reason to bet on us if you are feeling so inclined.
You could say we're lucky.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, so it's canceling your disadvantage. So just a straight persuasion roll.
Sweet. Damn it. I got a 4. And drop my dice. That's great. No.
They kind of like whisper to each other a little bit. They don't know how much they believe you. Khadija, from the front, Nash kind of pipes up. Yeah, So, two of you are gladiator fighters. Khadija, you're not in the
Deja.
arena?
Just Deja.
Oh, Deja, right, that's right, because you didn't everybody's addressing you as Deja, that's right.
But they kind of know anyways. Or
they do know. Yes, that's right. Yes, because last time they recognized you.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they do know. Sorry, Deja, you're not a pit fighter.
I'm their handler.
Fair enough. So, what kind of, aside from a handler, do you do any kind of other work? Hilda kind of nudges him a little bit. Just let the girl answer.
I do various jobs here and there.
Like a sellsword or some sort.
Some sort.
They kind of share a glance with each other and just kind of, fair enough.
I lean over and just like, do you think you're being cute right now?
Bitch, I'm adorable.
I'm
Yeah.
Any other questions you want to ask?
Nope, not at the time, ma'am. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Appreciate you very much.
Can I try peering over to see what the dwarf is scribbling in his notebook?
Make a perception check at disadvantage.
He's making dick pic drawings.
You are Goliath, so it's just like in a caravan, just kind of like
I got
curled
a
over.
6.
Do you speak Wildian?
Yes.
You got a 6. You can recognize Wildian letters. That's it.
That's fair because this is disadvantage is screwing me up.
You broke your bed. You rolled in that one.
I know. So I turned to the dwarf that's scribbling. If you don't mind me asking, are you from South Akut?
Make a persuasion check.
Damn it. 15, let's go high. No! Got a 1!
You're not being a social butterfly at all right now.
He is
I'm
real.
Really not. I'm gonna just nap for 5 hours. It'll help all of us in the long run.
He has his little notebook, and it's like he has these big Coke bottle glasses, but it's like up to his face, and he kind of just like looks at you.
Okay, I see you're not the social butterfly. That is fine.
Does anybody want to play cards while we wait?
Where's
Ooh.
cards?
You know me, Davin. I am always up for a game of cards, and I pull one out of my pocket. I always carry these. In the event that there's nothing else to do, since the conversation has clearly died.
Throwling kind of speaks up, and it's just like, I thought you said your name was Sabhir. Why does she keep calling you Devin? Why do you call him Devin?
I
It is
call
a
him...
title.
Yes, Davin is the nickname I give him. He's basically like my brother, so I call him Davin. He is my beloved.
And she is my sister.
The other dwarf, Garnol, and the halfling kind of look at each other, and they both look at Maria, and she kind of rolls her eyes and just like, yeah, it'd be like that.
Do I take this as like an offensive eye roll or like whatever?
No, like her eye roll is more like make an insight check.
Oh God.
He just started packing
I
everyone.
can't. Okay, I got a 16. We're good. We're doing good.
All right.
Yes. Okay, I got a 15, so I got a 16. I rolled good this time. Kind of.
You kind of, from the eye roll, you kind of get that thing that like, I'll say this, with that insight check, you see that Charlie, Throlin, and Maria were must have been discussing to some capacity the closeness that they are, because they're not blood related, and Maria's point was kind of proven by you, by saying that, this person who's clearly a different species than me, we're not blood related, he is still my beloved chosen family, does have an important significance in somebody's life. That's what you glean off of like that interaction. And she's like basically telling them like, yeah, we're basically family. we're not the only ones. There are other people who understand that concept as well.
Yes, so I don't know if you guys had maybe a dispute about this before. I don't know if you guys are related or not, but obviously, I mean, Davin and I, Sabir, if you want to call him that, we're not related, but you know, we are as close to brethren as you can possibly get. I mean, I was very young when I left my biological family, and you know, Davin has really been there for me. He has been the only confidant and friend I've really had growing up, and you know, family is what you make it. So I don't know what your backstory is necessarily, but
Who are you saying this to?
Maria,
The one with the siblings?
yeah,
Yeah.
I presume
She-
that's the one who had the eye roll.
Yeah. She speaks up. She's like, no, that is completely true. I we lost our family. We are from the same village. We are from further up the stream, up the Nar. We are from Sad, and our village was burned down by. Are you familiar with the Verdoren?
No, I don't think I am.
Khadija, you can make a history check on this.
Can I have an advantage with that, maybe?
Nope.
Okay. That's a 15. Bump it down to a 13.
13. You are familiar. The Verdorn name has kind of like popped up occasionally. It's popped up once amongst Nadia's studies. They are essentially a cult that is primarily based out of Sajin, but it seems like there are influences in the south of Al-Kut. And she just kind of continues on and just, yes, no, our village was burned down recently, so we are going to Haya to see if we can find a new place to live, make a new life for ourselves. And Muzbarak is so expensive, and Shalhil is so competitive. We think that Haya is smaller, but still a big city would be a good place to start.
Oh, that is terrible. You said that your home village was burnt to the ground. How?
At that point, the dwarf Throlin kind of speaks up, Garnell speaks up, and he says, "Well, the situation is that it happened during the night. Suddenly our building started to catch fire. There was someone yelling about heretics and lost faith, and before we knew it, it was overrun. We were a small village, just like very small houses, like 20 people of our village, but we managed to get away."
Man, that is terrible. I can at least at the very least empathize. I haven't been through that myself, but I know it is like to lose your family, and I'm deeply sorry. Even if you didn't lose anybody, you still lost your home, and I hope that you find what you want in Haya.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Yes.
You know
No,
what? I like you guys. I like all of you. Maria especially. Why don't you guys come and play a game of cards with me and Davin?
make a well, you don't even need to make a precision check. Yeah, they gladly join you guys play cards. For the next few hours, you are all just kind of hanging out, playing cards, making small talk with every other person there. The other two still kind of seem very focused on their own things, but aside from that, and Hilda and Nash are commenting here and there. Unless you have anything else that you want to do for the next like few hours of travel, Hilda is gonna stand up and start assigning watch, and you guys are going to slow your pace a little bit and start kind of like keeping an eye out.
All right. I probably at some point like also like. I figure the two people up front know they know it's me, so I'm gonna like hold on Haya every now and then to like let him rest a bit with the flying. But
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
don't. Yeah, but I don't want the people inside the caravan to see. But yeah.
Um,
I figure I just stick my arm out to the side and that's all I have to do.
Like a drive-through window.
nobody recognizes. Nobody. To the best of your knowledge, with your passive insight, nobody recognizes. If you want to make an active insight check, you can.
Passive insight's like 15. This is fine.
Fair
I'm
enough.
pretty confident. Not that that'll be my downfall or anything.
All right. So you guys ride on. Nash is still driving. Vagari, you're sitting next to Nash, and then Khadija, you and Hilda are behind the caravan, kind of walking, following it from behind.
I'm with Nash, you said? No, wait, who am I with?
No,
Sorry.
you're with Hilda.
Hilda, okay.
So for the next few hours, you're basically going to be moving forward. If anybody wants to do anything, Sabhir, you're still in the middle, kind of sitting and talking to everybody,
Gotcha.
or not.
I'll turn to the one that's completely bandaged up, and
You do not get or not feel well in heat, I assume. You deal with it very well.
Yeah, well, these are designed for the desert. I feel quite comfortable.
I mean, if I had a pair of scrubs like that, I would wear all the time. It is quite hot here, but you wearing this kind of points you out as a tourist. You are not from
Yeah.
here, are you?
No, I'm from across the Sapphire Sea. Yeah, I'm from Sagen.
And your purpose here? Planning to see the fight as well? Or see me fight?
Well, based on your guys' conversation, it does sound like it'd be a cool thing to see y'all fight.
It's a cool thing to even be in this caravan.
I think it's a little hot to be in this caravan.
You definitely seem cool.
Oh, thank you very much. You know, I try really hard to do so.
But not as cool as, and I'll scoot up next to the guy that was writing stuff. And just kind of like put my spear next to my chin, just kind of lean next to the dwarf that was scribbling, but not as cool as you. What is your deal?
You're just trying to have a conversation with this dwarf?
yeah,
So he's not a particularly large dwarf. He's pretty small. He does kind of like shy away from you a little bit. Just like for all of the warriors here, you're considered, I guess, like scraggly a little bit, or scrawny, sort of to them. But to this guy, you're still like a fucking lion person that's like twice as height, essentially.
There's nothing to be scared of.
and I'll show fangs real quick as a smile.
Are you trying to intimidate him or just like befriend him?
I'm trying to befriend him, but probably it's the most awkward of smiles.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Okay. Persuasion check? Well, that was a 4.
Oh god.
And that's a natural 20. God,
Welcome
I wasted
to my
it.
world,
It's-
my guy.
it's a 5 persuasion.
He goes, huh, I'm studying the nar, and I am studying the flora and the fauna and the Alcusian desert and huh, please don't hurt me.
It would never hurt you. My duty is to protect you. I was lying. I was joking. It was a joke earlier. I just want to get to know you. What kind of... You said flora. What is that?
Well, the vegetation that is in Alkut. I am from the south. I am past the Willada Mountains, and I have been sent to. I'm a physician, and I have been sent to study the plants that you all have here in the north.
You are a doctor.
Yes, yes.
I, too, am a doctor of sorts.
Kind of perks up at that, and he just kind of, really?
Yes, I have stitched up many a fighter. So they don't bleed out on the cart as I'm carrying them away.
So more like a triage nurse.
Yes. That is
I mean, no
extent.
offense. I mean, no offense to you. Like, he sees your fangs. He's got, I mean, no offense. No, of course you do medical work. Of course, this is exactly, we are. Yes, you are a physician. Yes. Yep.
Oh, I'm a physician.
Yes. Clearly, if you say so. If you say you are a physician, you are a physician. And he's like looking all up and down your weapons.
Oh, yeah. Do I take notice of that with a 13 passive?
Oh yeah. The guy, he's like not comfortable speaking to you right now.
I'm just thinking of that meme, I'm a doctor, but
I'll take my spear and like,
Would you like to hold it? We can trade. You can be doctor and I can be fighter. Wait, you can be fighter, I can be doctor.
I am more comfortable with smaller instruments or smaller utensils, smaller tools.
understood. And I'll throw out my short sword.
I more like well, I don't have any of my instrumentation with me today, but something like a fork or a knife is something to something small like that. I use scalpels and clamps.
I do not know if you speak. We have yarn and needle.
I sometimes use needles and thread as well.
Great, we are both doctors.
Yes, we are
Anyways.
both doctors.
What are you writing in the book?
He closes his notepad immediately. That is private. It is private research.
About the Nar.
Yes. About the plants and the shrubs and the other sorts of flowers and fruits that can be used in medical applications.
Well, what have you found from one physician to another? Is there anything that could help me? Help you? Let's say you get injured. Would you not want me to
make a
help you
persuasion
with
check?
berets?
Okay. That's off the table. Staying strong with a 7.
I think our specialities might lie in other places.
Suit yourself. Only trying to help. But if you get injured and I mess up, it's on you.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Turns away.
I'll just go back and sit down next to the bandage guy and just kind of...
Wake me if you hear rustling. I'll keep an eye out.
And I'll close both eyes.
Wait, wake you or? Oh, he's dozed off. Oh, okay. Khadija, you are sitting next to Nash. Vagari, you are walking next to Hilda. If any of you want to,
Wait. Oh. Wait, I thought I was next to Wait.
or sorry, other way around.
Yes, I'm
Vagari,
sitting
you are
next to
sitting next to
Nash.
Nash, right? Because Nash is the distance fighter, and you
Yeah.
have close quarters with a distance fighter. Yeah. So Vagari, you are sitting next to Nash. Khadija, you are behind, walking next to Hilda.
All right. I
If
guess
you guys want, otherwise, no big deal.
I gotta question Hill a little bit. What's the vibe I get off of her? Like, what do I know just looking at her?
Make an insight check.
Oh boy, that's 17 plus 5, so 22.
22. Hilda's posture is perfect. She carries herself very strong. She has a great axe on her back, and it doesn't, like, the way she moves, you wouldn't think that she's carrying like any weight, but this thing looks massive. You can tell that she's definitely disciplined and definitely a good, like, she's a capable fighter for sure. You make out that much. As I described previously, she had like a short military haircut, like typically what would be think of like a modern like US military haircut, like short hair on the sides all the way around and then maybe a little bit on the top. And she's carrying herself kind of nonchalantly a little bit, but you can see that she is like 360 aware. Like her eyes are like everywhere at every time. Like she is in tune with her surroundings.
Okay. So you're a soldier, professionally.
I am I'm an ex-soldier of sorts. Yeah. And you are one that has had similar duties, have you not?
Never quite stood in an army, but I do have brothers in arms. Quite literally some brothers in arms, but yeah. I know what it means to risk your life for someone else or an idea or what have you.
I'm sure you do.
How does someone who looks as capable as you end up with a caravan?
Make a persuasion check.
Alright. 14.
14. Well, Nash and I, we are retired Blightland fighters, not as prestigious as a Diron, especially one from the Riahi family. Yes, we know who you are. Your reputation precedes you. It is an honor to travel with you.
That's appreciated. And thank you for not being too obvious about that in front of everyone.
Not a problem. I understand your station requires some discretion.
Yes, it does. More often than you'd think.
And may I ask, what is your current objective?
It's quite simple. Just retrieving something for the family and then going back. That's how most of these things are. Go play fetch.
Something of value if you are traveling with such capable fighters, like Vagari and Sabhir.
That's just how it ended up. I was heading that way, and somebody else wanted to send someone or someone's along as well. And it was a matter of convenience.
Two sort of two birds this one stone. Yeah?
Yes, although I'm not quite in favor of killing birds, and I call Hyam down. Yeah.
My apologies.
Do you want to pet him? The famous bird.
Yeah. Yeah. This would be an honor.
He's a little feisty sometimes.
Make an animal handling check. I'll make one
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Okay, that's 13 plus something. It is plus
Oh
5.
no.
So,
Marco's face makes me
18.
nervous.
I got an 18. What did you get?
I got a nat 1.
Oh no.
Her temporary attention that's focused, like, make an insight check real quick.
Oh no. 18 plus something.
18.
23.
She may or may not be slightly starstruck.
Ah.
Slightly. And so that temporary moment of like, oh shit, I get to, like, pet her bird or whatever. She kind of trips over a rock a little bit and just, like, instead of like petting him, kind of like slaps him a little bit. Not enough to get him off your shoulder, but definitely just like, I am so sorry.
This is not the worst thing that has happened.
She turns a little bit red.
I said
Well, we are very
pet
pleased to
Hyam.
have you on the mission with us.
Well, we're gonna be out here for another day or so anyways, so maybe you could try again tomorrow when he's feeling a little less himself
Yeah,
in his
yeah,
vengeance.
yeah.
He's
Sounds good to me.
yeah, I'm gonna throw Hyam back up into the air. Yes.
And he helps you scout, hunts things for you.
Yes, he's great. My family, we all have some type of animal companion to help us with our duties. So, and I ended up with the bird.
This is a family tradition.
Yes.
Interesting. Do you all have a specific symbol of the family?
It's more whatever animal we managed to bond with. Personally, I chose to climb some cliffs and get him from an abandoned nest.
You rescued Hayam.
Yes,
From-
but he's not very grateful.
She kind of like tilts her head, looks through like all the boxes and the people to Nash. Like, you can tell that she's looking at Nash. Yeah, I understand the sentiment.
You can't help but care for them.
It is a role as a protector. No?
Where did you and Nash meet? Oh, you said you're both fighters?
Yeah, we were Blightland fighters. And I became injured on my leg. I'm better now. I can walk. I can still fight, but it's not the same as it used to be. I did say it happened saving Nash's life, so he will never admit to it. It was time to retire. And he decided to quit to retire with me. And the cold Sagen is not something that I was ever a fan of. And Nash is from Alkut, from the far west. So we decided that it would be a good idea to return to Alkut and retire here. We can still fight. The bandits on the road are not a major threat. So we decided this was a decent life. For now, at least.
Yeah. Not a bad plan, having this to sort of rest back on.
Yeah, we travel for work a couple of weeks, take a week off, swim in Zana. This is nice. Sometimes if we go to Haya, stay in Haya for a bit, stay in Shalhil for a bit. it is very well balanced, the work-life systems that we have set up for ourselves.
That must be nice.
It is. But you are bound to your duty, no?
Very much so. I was born for this. It is with great pride that I do it, but sometimes I wonder what life would be like if I could do anything else, really. But
If you were
those
free to
thoughts,
choose.
those thoughts don't bother me too much, as I'm quite happy where I am. But who knows? Maybe I travel the world.
Well, you've done some traveling. And you have a strong sense of duty, I imagine.
Very strong sense. I go where I am told, and I always come back.
I think that is quite lovely.
Thank you. And I think Khadija's going to rest in more comfortable silence now.
Yeah. Hilda's also kind of just gonna smile, appreciate, your guys' conversations, kind of like get back to like, being on duty. Vagari, anything you want to say to Nash or actually, Nash wants to talk to you.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go!
He's sitting in the front, he's got the reins. So, Coliseum pit fighter. You any good?
Am I any good? Well, I don't know if you heard the conversation from earlier, but I've been doing this for 7 years and I'm still alive, so you tell me.
I've been brushing my teeth for 7 years, and it ain't doing looking good for me.
Well, one is a bit more demanding than the other. No offense to your teeth.
Exactly my point. So, just because you've been doing it a long time, don't mean you're good at it.
Well, I'm still alive. I will say I'm pretty good. As far as the rankings go, I'm not like top 5 by any means, but I'm definitely up there. Up there enough to where me and my Davin are going to be opening in the arena in Haya soon, in the next couple of days.
All right. You excited? You nervous?
Well, mixed feelings. I would say I'm excited because, me and Davin don't get out very much. It's good to just see something other than Murzbarak for once. Speaking of which, I don't know. I'm sure you travel a lot. You said that you're from, was it West Alkut?
Yeah. I'm from a little place outside of Yuka.
Yeah, so you travel quite a bit. I don't know if there's anything that you would deem worthy of just pointing out on the way to Haya.
Not really anything interesting to see on this trip. It's kind of landmark wise, it's pretty basic, but we do have the Thuban Pass. We're gonna stay there tonight. It's just a little canyon area. Don't know if you've ever been through it, but it's got some good protection. Most caravans spend the night there. It does see a fair bit of bandit activity, but I don't think it's anything to worry about.
Okay, I see. I can't imagine that we will have too much trouble, especially given our numbers. As far as, us traveling and so forth, I don't know if you have any, like, trinkets or anything that we're traveling with in the caravan that is of unique value or of reason to just point out, just for our own sake in terms of protecting later tonight.
Well, I don't know what everybody's personal FX are, but and he kind of like pulls out, he has this leather sort of like open pouch made out of hard leather, and in it there is this bent piece of, it looks like a combination of wood and metal, with a tube on the end, like a wooden handle tube on the end, and what looks to be a little metal piece where you can kind of like fit your finger in. It's got a cylindrical sort of insert in the middle, and he hands it to you. That there. That is the last great gift I received. It's a prototype from Zimnus. They call it a revolver. And that baby
revolver.
shoots really well.
It shoots, you say? Like,
Oh yeah.
it shoots what at what?
These things called bullets. Small little metal beads. They just fly out.
And it just hits whatever you aim at. Is it deadly? Is it dangerous?
Oh no, not at all. I mean, yeah, very dangerous, but not hard at all. And he just like he throws the reins and he just like whips his leg around it, tightens the reins and puts his foot on the bench in front of him, like where the foothold is in front of him, so he keeps strain on the reins, and he reaches over and he grabs the revolver out of your hand. He presses some kind of button and the cylindrical encasing comes out. And you can see that there are 6 holes with 6 like metal pieces in them. And he goes, see, in Zimnus, they found out this thing called black powder. Black powder is very volatile. So what you do is you fill this up, and then this thing here called a hammer, that'll hit the back of this, we call it a cartridge. That hits the cartridge in the chamber. It makes a little explosion. And then this metal piece just flies out. And if you look here, and he shows you where the sight lined up. You line up these 2 dots with that dot, put the target right in front of you, pow, 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 it's done. And hands it back to
That is
he like
fascinating.
yeah, hands it back to you.
That
Be
is
careful, that's
fascinating.
not a toy. And he just grabs the reins back and then just like gets back to it.
So, can we try it? I've never seen something like this before. I just want to see.
Oh, absolutely. We can do some target practice once we make, camp for the night. I'll set up some targets for you.
All right, I will hold you to this, and in exchange, I will make it worth your fancy.
Sounds good to me. He puts his hand out to receive his gun back.
All right, I give it back.
Yeah, he holsters it. That sounds great to me. Anything else you would like to
No, I'm just looking forward to shooting this revolver now. This is like all I'm thinking about the rest of the ride.
I
Fair
don't know how I
enough.
feel about this.
Yep. Why do you think I paired you guys the way that I did?
Oh my goodness.
I'm kidding. I didn't have foresight, but I'm so happy that this is happening. Let me pull these things up. Perfect.
Who wants this axe anymore? Just give me 2 pistols, 2 revolvers. I'll run out of bullets and just beat him with the.
The sun starts to descend before you over the horizon. The 2 moons, the children of Anara, come out once more. In the distance, you can make out the and there's still daylight, but it's just starting to set. In the distance, you can make out the jagged rocks that form the Thuban Pass, which Nash was telling you about, Vagari. The road here is practically devoid of vegetation, except for a few samwa shrubs and acacia trees. As you draw closer and start to slow, those of you who are kind of more daydreaming in the monotony of the travel, you start to wake from your reverie from the long day has pushed upon you. You all travel through the pass for a little bit. There are some cliff sides overhead, and eventually you turn off to the right to an opening. This looks like a place that's been slightly more used. There's a couple of stakes placed in the ground to like hold down the horses, and there's some hooks in some of the canyon walls here where people have been putting tents up and stuff like that. So you all start to unload, start to make camp. That's what's happening right now. What would you guys like to be doing? You see that the oh right, and there were 2 royal looking people, right? Did I mention?
What?
Did I add those 2?
What?
Well, they don't look
No.
royal. They don't look
They
royal.
just teleported.
No, they are. Did I have that there? I didn't write it in the thing. I forgot them. You know what?
They fast travel to the halfway
Nah,
point.
it's fine. They don't exist. We're just deleting them now.
No, now I want to know.
They're not royal. They're just what's the
Important
word?
people.
Nobility?
They were no. They were just wealthy looking merchants. Which I did have in there originally, but you know what? Yeah, I'll keep them in. Why not? We'll leave them there. Yeah, there's like these two merchants that look like they're well dressed. No, I'm just gonna
fading
delete it.
in and out of existence.
I'm just deleting them. Yep, they're fading in and out of existence. I'm deleting them.
Oh god!
What?
They're
Did
gone.
you guys see that?
They're gone.
Help
That's it.
us.
That's it. Yeah, so caravan comes to a stop. Y'all unhook everything, start to make camp, start to, you latch the horses up to these stakes that are put in the ground, start setting up the tents on the campsites, and everybody kind of just like settles into corners of the camp. I will put here, let me see here. Y'all can turn to roll 20 now
Yay!
to look at the campsite.
Nice. I think once we were to park and just me being me, I would like to get everything situated with our wagons, get it situated there, and then maybe start looking at the ground for any foot traffic.
Sure, make a survival check.
Nope, just kidding. Nope. Wait. Natural 20.
Natural
for a total natural 20 for a total of 25.
Wait, why'd you say no wait?
It hit a bunch of the dice, but then it landed flat.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Natural 20. Yeah, so this is and you guys passed a few other openings on the way through the Thuban Pass. This place looks like it's seen some use, some regular use. You can see that like over here, for example, where I'm a little further north in the campsite, there are some stairs that have been kind of like carved into the canyon wall. There's a little like sort of water pool that's been adjusted, like it has a natural little cascade probably leading down to an aquifer, but this has been definitely like built up a little bit to kind of have like some kind of water source there.
I have a question.
And yes,
What's an aquifer?
an aquifer is a body of water that lies under the ground. So imagine an underground lake, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a cave with a lake. It just means that the cave is, imagine a cave, but it's completely filled with water.
Like a cenote.
Like a what?
Like a cenote.
I don't know what that is.
It's like you can have lake versions, but you can have like cave versions where it's like in a cave and it's like a lake. They're very common in like southern Mexico.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Yeah, so that's what an aquifer is.
All right.
And now I learned what a cenote is. Very cool.
Yay! You learn something new every day.
Wells are built over aquifers. When you build a well and you drill down or you dig down, that essentially goes into an aquifer.
Okie dokie.
Maybe cenote is like too big for that then.
I mean, they can be various size, I'm imagining. Fair enough. So basically, the rest of the people that you're protecting they're all like laid out in, here. And you guys are kind of, actually, I'm gonna put you a little more over here. Because of the layout, Nash and Hilda have essentially placed themselves and made a fire pit a little close to where they will be vulnerable. So, yeah. So you guys, you make some food, you make some dinner, you all just kind of chill for a little bit. Let's determine watches. Hilda is going to be taking the first watch, and Nash is going to be taking the last watch. So who is taking each watch with who?
I personally want to take mine with Nash.
Oh yeah, because you guys are going to do
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going to do target practice.
It's gonna wake up everybody.
We'll do that. We'll do that before you guys actually go to bed.
Okay, fair.
Take the middle watch so everyone's already passed out. They're
It's
like halfway through REM.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, we'll get to you and Nash doing target practice. So I guess you'll stay and have a watch with Nash. That's fine. Vagari, are you gonna do the midnight watch or are you gonna do the morning watch with Hilda?
If I do the morning watch, does that mean I get a long rest?
Either way, you'll get a long rest.
Okay, then I don't have a preference. I'll do morning watch. Well, no, I'll do first watch because I'm exhausted and I'm like really tired and I want to go to bed.
You'll do the morning watch. Is that what you said?
The first watch.
The first watch. Okay, yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
Because
Yeah.
I'm tired.
By morning watch, I mean it's like 3:30 a.m. to sunrise. That's the morning watch. Is the last watch of the night.
Mhm.
Khadija.
Okay. Who do I want to be with? I kind of want to be with Hilda again and like let her have like a chance with Haya again.
Fair enough. All right, and then Sabhir, I guess you'll take the mid watch alone.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
lonely.
or first watch. It does not matter.
Well, there's going to be 2 people on the first watch, 2 people on the second watch. You know what? Make a straight persuasion check. I'll call it DC 13.
Whomst, me?
Yes, use good sir.
I feel like
Mhm.
I wouldn't want to let him take watch alone for obvious reasons.
You
Oh, they
said
need to sleep
DC.
too.
You said DC 13 with the persuasion. I have 18. 17 plus
18.
1.
As people are as the 4 of you are kind of like congregating, deciding on watches and deciding on perimeter checks and sweeps and all this stuff, the bandaged guy, did you ever get his name?
No.
Yeah,
Never
asked
did.
his name. Never asked his name.
Yeah, so he's not important, I guess.
You just started talking to him. The bandaged guy, I mean, he's the only other armed person here. He will come up to you and be like, I'll take the midnight watch with you, if that's okay with you guys. He looks to Nash and Hilda. They kind of share a look, and let's see. Yeah, if that is your preference, instead of spending the night sleeping, that is fine with me. Sounds good. Well, Sabhir.
Sabhir.
Yeah. You let me know when you're ready, and just wake me. I'll be up there. Okay.
Understood. Now,
Alright.
mysterious one. I never got your name. If we're going to be using our eyes to protect this whole caravan, I might as well know who to scream out.
Yeah, just call me Lenny.
Leno! Okay. Understood.
All right. Cool. He makes his way back to this little place that he's like kind of cornered to himself, puts his haversack down, puts his bow down, and just kind of like sits there and just kind of chills, leans back and just kind of looks up to the emerging stars. Vagari, you are doing target practice with Nash. All right, so after you guys are done eating, everybody's kind of settling in a little bit. He's got a few empty bottles of ale that he's been, that you guys have with you. He's got like kind of like a few crates of ale, and he's gonna set them up. And let's see. Let me look up the actual item for firearms.
We're doing this during our watch, right?
No. You're gonna wake everybody up if you do it under your
Okay,
watch.
so we're doing this before our watch.
Yeah, you're doing this before your watch. It's called. Let's do. This is a pistol. All right. So, this is going to use your dexterity modifier, but you are not proficient. So he's going to have 3 targets set up. There's going to be like basically a pyramid of bottles. And it's going to be 30 feet away. So go ahead and make an attack roll using your dexterity modifier, but not your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
All right, so remember,
I'm
you want to
also at
set up...
disadvantage because I'm still tired.
No, because this is an attack roll, and exhaustion
Okay.
only applies to ability checks for now. If you don't take a rest
Okay.
for the night, that'll be a different issue. So,
Sweet. I hope I do, Jesus.
Khadija, Sabhir, you guys want to get in on this?
What is
Ooh,
it?
Davin, come. You are going to love this. I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out together, eh?
What? What are you doing?
So my good man Nash here says that this is called a revolver. I believe I'm saying
Revolver.
that correctly.
Yeah.
It basically shoots little pellets at your target. How deadly it is, I don't know, but we're going to find out together. So are you in?
What do you mean find out how deadly it is? What are you
If it
shooting?
is anything like a bow, sure.
So all I understand, Nash, you can interject any time as it goes really fast and it hits your target. How fast, I don't know. But I'd imagine if it goes fast enough, it's going to be pretty bad.
Let's see how this goes.
No, it's pretty well put.
Well, thank you, Nash. I will say, we are becoming more friends, I feel, than acquaintances. I mean, you are frankly trusting me with this thing after all.
Shoot. Hell yeah,
Nash,
we're here to protect everybody, here to work together. Of course we're friends.
Nash, would you like to show us how it is done before we go?
That'd be a good idea. So, firearm safety 101. And he shows you the gun. This is the handle, this is the barrel. At the end of the barrel is a little hole where the bullet's going to come out. Never look into the barrel. Ever. You don't want to look down the sight. That's a bad idea. It's a good way to lose your head. So what you want to do, take off the safety. That'll make it allow you to fire the weapon. You line up these 2 little dots here with that dot there with the target that you want. You take a look, see, and he very much like Good, Bad, and Ugly or any cowboy movie you've seen. He just pulls it out and like with the other hand slams back the hammer. Pop, 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 and you just see the 3 bottles. Just like the first bottle explodes, the 2 other bottles go into the air from the explosion, and then he shoots both other barrels or both other bottles, and just like. And that's how it's done. And this is one of the loudest things that you guys have ever heard. Like it's not that it hurts, but it is like you were not expecting something that loud.
Wow, that is quite the explosion.
I'm instantly on the ground covering my ears.
Davin, it is okay. It is killing the bottles, not us.
What?
Everybody in the camp kind of like looks up, like, what the fuck was that? And Hilda just kind of is giving Nash the death glare, like.
Quick, Nash, before Hilda says that we can't do this anymore, can it be my turn?
Hilda just kind of like, he looks at Hilda like. She rolls her eyes and just. All right. You get one shot. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I will
Vagari,
move
you were
into
here
town.
first. You were here first, so let's do it. So he holsters both of his guns, sets up a bottle, and he gets behind you. You are taller than him, but are you left or right-handed?
Right.
Right-handed. All right. So hold it here. Don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to fire.
He's
And one-
behind Vagari.
He's like next to her. It's not like
Okay.
he's not doing like a romantic like
Like,
yo.
let me help you
what's
with your golf
up?
putt.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna be like,
No, he's not. Well, you know what? Make an insight check.
Is he a
Natural
good old
20.
southern gentleman?
Natural 20.
natural 20 with a 23.
It's
He
that
is being-
protective brother vibe.
He is being the perfect gentleman. There is
Okay.
no ulterior motives in this informative educational instruction.
If he starts to rotate behind just a little bit, there's going to be a spear, like
Oh my god.
doing the whole like 6 inches apart.
You gotta leave room for Cinna. Cinna is the prime female god of Sajin. For Elkut, it would probably be Assad, or Tifa or Minia. So one of those. Gotta leave space for Assad. So he gives you the instruction. Vagari, go ahead and make an attack roll with your dexterity modifier.
Let's see. I got a 14.
All right. The DC is 12. The AC, I guess, is 12. So you fire. You're not expecting the... Make a Constitution saving throw or a Strength saving throw.
Oh god. Okay. Strength or con, you said?
Let's call it Strength.
20.
20. You weren't expecting the pushback from the actual like explosion, but you managed to hold onto the revolver pretty well. Like it kind of like you feel a little twist in your wrist, but not a big deal. Like barely feel it. You struggle to take your finger out of the trigger because it's like so small, and your fingers are kind of like big because you're huge, a Goliath. And yeah, you shoot the bottle.
Ooh, that was some recoil if I've ever felt it. I've never experienced anything like this before. Quite amazing. And the way it shoots the bottle.
That was well done. That was amazing.
Oh,
Pretty good, big sis.
Thank you, Nash. Thank you.
Whoa. Don't point that around to anybody else. Thank you very much. He takes it out of your hand.
Oh, my apologies, Nash. It is quite impressive. I don't know if there's a way we could potentially get one. Are these allowed in Arena?
I don't think that they are. They're still new. They're just being developed by the people in Zimnus. I got this on special permission, and I got to keep it.
Quite amazing, quite amazing. Well, on that note, I don't know, Davin, do you want to try?
Yeah, come on here,
It is too-
Sabhir.
It is too loud. I prefer a quiet approach.
You don't want to make an effort for it? All right, no worries. If you're not comfortable, you like your close combat stuff, that's fine.
It suits me better than whatever revolver is.
Yeah, it's because here where the chamber where all the bullets are, it revolves when you shoot.
Understood.
Yeah. It's a very informative name.
You give yourself away, though.
Well, you know, subtlety's not my speciality. Know what I'm saying?
Understood.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Hunter?
I'll give it a go.
All right.
Okay.
He takes the gun out. You think you got it, or you want a little tutorial?
I think I got it.
All right.
Do I add my archery bonus to this? I think that's for like ranged attacks.
You are not proficient in firearms, so you're just gonna. He's gonna before he hands you the gun, he's gonna go up, set up another bottle, and then he's gonna come back. And
But this
then,
is my fighting style, though.
what is your fighting style?
Archery. You gain +2 bonus to attack rolls you make with ranged weapons.
Oh
not-
shit!
It's not a proficiency bonus.
It's not a proficiency bonus, but it is technically a ranged weapon. So per raw, yeah,
Dang.
you get that +2.
All right, so that'd be a +5 to roll. Okay. That'd be a 9 plus 5, so 14.
14. All right, yeah, DC, same thing. DC, it was DC 12, or AC 12. Yeah, you go make a strength saving throw.
Oh boy. 16.
16. There is a little bit of kickback from the shot, but it doesn't like hurt your wrist. It just feels a little, weird. Everybody make a perception check.
I
Mm,
killed
So
a man.
you shoot,
worth
you
just-
shoot, the bottle like explodes, shatters. You get a little exhilaration, this little feeling of exhilaration. All right, what everybody roll?
I got a 16.
Natural 20 again.
6.
Fair enough. Khadija and Sabhir, Vagari, you are engrossed by this. You are like, this is the coolest fucking thing in the world. I want one. I need one.
Yes.
The other two of you guys have noticed that everybody else in the camp is just kind of like staring and just kind of like in awe of what's going on. At that point, Hilda kind of gets up, stands up, and just kind of right. Well, we should probably be done with that for tonight. Thank you very much. He goes to take. Do you give it back?
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Thank you very much.
for the
He opens it, refills the last 2 shots that last 3 shots that he took, or that were taken, and holsters it again. Hope y'all had fun with it. If you ever in Zimnis, go to the Harp. That's where they're developing stuff. Really cool.
Yes, we will remember this. Thank you so much. I definitely, like I said, owe you one after that.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. Well, moons are coming out. Sun's gone down for a bit. We should probably call it a night here. All right.
Yes, I'd say that's fair. I'm quite exhausted. I could use a rest.
Sounds good. He's gonna sit down. He's gonna walk past, and Hilda's just giving him a bit of the death glare, like, you motherfucker. He is going to. So this is where the fire pit is. He's gonna take this area over here. Okay, close to the mic. Khadija, you're the one that's taking the watch with Hilda, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're taking the first watch, right? Sabhir and Vagari, you guys can place yourselves wherever you want in the camp to sleep. Right now, the available places are like back here, close to the cliffside, over here next to. So these are the siblings over here, and these are the people that won the tickets to go to the arena fight.
I'm gonna go around this corner and sleep next to the other group of people that we were traveling with because it's further away from the fire pit and it's darker. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep quick, so.
Sounds good. All right. Nash is actually gonna come up here to the cliff side and just kind of like stay up on this second tier. All right, so you all go to bed. Khadija, it's just you and Hilda.
Before I go to bed, I would like to clock the nerdy dwarf, like where he's located.
The nerdy dwarf is here.
Okay.
On the cliffside up there.
Gotcha.
Would this
I'll
be
go
a
to
good
bed.
time for intermission?
It would be a good time for intermission.
I'm pretty pleased, DM.
For the love that is
Good
so unholy.
Intermission.
All right. Yeah, we'll call it here for let's say 10 minutes. So at 8:50 we'll all come back. And we're back. Now I know how Matt Mercer feels. you all have taken the evening and settled in. Khadija, you are having the first watch with Hilda. Let's start with a perception check for both of you.
Oh, goody. 14.
14 total?
Yeah.
Fair enough. All seems quiet on the Western Front. You guys chit-chatting or are you just chilling?
I feel like they're just kind of chilling at one point. I'm just like, you wanna try petting him again?
Yeah,
So,
I
you
would
know,
love that.
I will never lie to someone and say that he's friendly, but he accepts it most times.
I'm sure I can take the hit, so to speak. So she goes to pet him again. I'm gonna give her an animal handling check.
Can I roll for animal handling too?
You can give her advantage if you want.
I can't. I want to give her advantage. With how you're bowing your head, you're making me worried.
Oh, thank God. I rolled another nat 1, but with your
Take that.
advantage, it's a 17 plus whatever. She goes to pet Hayam. How does Hayam respond on a 17 animal handling?
When she was like, as she said, he just kind of like fully leans in
Oh,
and doing like all like little happy chirps,
what a precious little bird.
and does try to
Oh.
nibble her every now and then.
Oh,
But
that is quite fun. And she lets him like bite down on her finger and just kind of like moves his head around, just like, oh, such a good bird. Oh. He is so beautiful.
he is. He's a bit small for his species, though. I think that's what adds to his general anger of the world.
Well, despite myself, und Nash und Vagari, size is not everything. So, and she kind of like looks to where Sabhir is sleeping. Some people might surprise you. Like this little guy.
I still want to roll for insight to see if she has this thing for Sabhir, even though I'm pretty sure that's not what she's implying.
Yeah, go ahead, roll insight.
That's 12.
She doesn't have a thing for him, but
Damn.
you get the sense that she has a sense of understanding for not really being what other people might expect her to be. Like she might commiserate and understand kind of like somebody who is kind of underestimated because of appearances.
Right.
That's what you gather. You rolled one higher than her.
Isn't she like a big old half orc though?
She is currently.
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 We
Why
were
you got
all
me
young.
paranoid?
We were all young once. We were all small. We all had to go through our growing pains, so to speak. I was very much like Hayam. I think that is one of the reasons I decided to become a Blightland fighter. The half-orcs have it is expected of us to be brutes, to be strong, to be vicious fighters. And I was the smallest of all my family. And it's not a great feeling when someone judges you by your size. And you have to prove your worth. Take your own choices away from you, your own freedom. Living, trying to prove yourself. It is frustrating, but as you grow, you learn to accept yourself for who you are, and you take those decisions, and you make the best of them.
Yes. You can only hope to rise above it all. Otherwise, you get crushed by it.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be quite frustrating. And in that moment, you both at the same time, like, hear footsteps coming from, like, far off in the distance. Like, one single snap, like goes off. She stands up immediately, turns to you, and says, "Get the high ground. Get everyone ready. Nash!" And I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Initiative.
Oh no!
I got a 10.
Me too.
You got a 10. What did you get?
A natural 1 + 1.
2. Khadija,
10.
you also got a 10.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you're gonna have to take your turns. Let me just organize myself a little bit here. So Khadija, Vagari, Sabhir. That. All right, perfect. So, you are all exactly where you're supposed to be. We're gonna go in order of initiative. First person that's gonna go, you see a gnoll run in from the east. They're going to perch up here, right? That should be their distance. Yeah, that's plenty. And they're gonna take their turn to do a perception check. That's a nat 1. The gnoll just kind of looks around and just and he starts to draw his bowstring. The next person that comes through, you see a figure in a purple robes with a hood up. They run out, they take their hood off, and you see all these tattoos. It looks like broken vines and twigs and trees, and they run up right behind the scout, and they say, "Did you find him? Did you find him?" And perception check for him. Oh shit, meets it, beats it. He turns, he sees Len, and he's gonna attack Len. He is going to cast a spiritual weapon. Let me see. Is that enough range? Yeah. And so this, you see a gnarled piece of wood show up right next to Lenny. Khadija, that is your turn.
Okay, where am I?
You are over here.
Okay. And there's Hayam.
Yep.
Let's see. Where can I send? Do they have ranged weapons, these two?
This one has ranged weapons. You just saw this one cast a spell.
Okay.
And an ethereal, sort of like rotted looking tree limb or vine or branch popped up over here.
Okay. I'm gonna have him attack the archer there with the flyby ability, just fly 20 feet up into the. No, Haim will stay right there because this is a ranged dude. So I'm gonna send Haim at the knoll.
At the knoll? Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell him to shred it with my bonus action.
All right. Make an attack roll.
Okay, that's a 4 plus something. Plus 5. Does a 9 hit?
9 does not hit.
Okay, Hayam's gonna fly 20 feet up into the air above the knoll then.
Fair enough. Hayam swoops down. The knoll ducks down and just looks up and starts taking aim at Hayam. What about you?
Is this like a rock right here that I could like get some cover from?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to move somewhat behind that and then shoot up at the caster.
Sure. Go for it. Make an attack roll.
That's an 18 plus 7, so 25.
That'll hit. Roll for
And
damage.
I'm going to apply the favored foe thing on top of that to get extra damage.
Okay.
Because I don't need to do anything for that. I can just make that happen. It's a concentration thing, which is annoying, but whatever. Okay, so hold on. Give me a sec here. I gotta figure out all the dice I need to roll.
That's fine. While you figure that out, you and Hilda notice coming from the south, a bunch of other troops that are attacking. You see a kobold atop a giant hyena, 2 other kobolds, and this is an orc attacking as well.
Goody gumdrops. Okay, I got my dice.
Hilda is yelling at you. Handle those. I have these. And she's just gonna come in here. To clarify for all of you, the purple opponents are just gonna be like, you don't worry about them. Hilda's handling them. I've got my rolls that I'll do over here for them. Your opponents are the ones in red.
Okay.
All right,
As of
so
right now, there's just the 2, and then you said there was a root that appeared, but that does not have red.
well, that's a spell effect.
Okay, so just the 2 that we see right now on the cliff.
Correct. Yeah. So Khadija, roll for damage.
I got a 12 total for damage.
12 total. All
Yeah,
right.
And I think you would need a roll for a concentration check.
Yes. Spiritual weapon is not concentration.
It's not?
Nope. That's one of the insane things.
Spiritual weapon, not spirit guardian.
Spiritual weapon is not concentration.
What?
Yep. It just lasts a minute. It's one of the crazy things about spiritual weapon.
I can't. That's okay.
You can Google it. But,
I am.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now. I'm looking at it.
No
okay,
way.
so
The bonus to cast and it lasts a minute, and it just okay. Whatever.
the cultist is yelling, "Find the geode! Find the heretic!" And he casts. You take aim, and it grazes his arm. Like it hurts him, and he just kind of like withdraws and like looks back at you. Okay. Hilda is handling these people. Nash is going to stand up, and he is also going to be he's going to make his way down over here to fight with Hilda. So he can move down to these steps. So he's going to go down here, and he's going to start shooting. So they're fighting. Vagari, you're up. You hear a ruckus, and you hear Hilda and Khadija yelling.
Okay, I can't look up and see them at the cliff, or do I know that they're there?
Make a perception check with disadvantage, because they're still exhausted.
17, please. 14. All right, I'll take it. I got a 17 then.
17 total. You can see the figure here. You can just barely see the top of their bald head.
Okay, and second question. Would I be able to climb up this cliff?
Yes, it'll be a DC 15 athletics check to climb up the cliff face, and it'll use double your movement. It's a 10-foot cliff, so you'll need to use 20 feet to climb it.
All right, I'm gonna try.
All right, go for athletics with disadvantage.
Please roll good. All right, 19. I just have to get this next roll. 14 plus 5, so I got a 19.
You may move up. You can place yourself right there.
I didn't even get any sleep, but for maybe 30 minutes, I am over this already. And I climb up the cliff to where this magic guy is, who just cast that other spell recently. I'm raging at this point because I'm so tired and I just want to go back to bed. And I use my great axe and I slash at the magician guy.
And
The sorcerer.
This is how
All
Khadija
right,
learns she's not a
what-
morning person.
Sounds good to me. Roll to hit.
Rolling to hit. With disadvantage, or because we're attacking, I get normal?
It's normal for you. You don't get disadvantage. With one exhaustion point, you don't get disadvantage on attack rolls.
I got a 15.
Meets it, beats it. Roll for damage.
Yes. All right, for damage, I rolled, so it'd be 10 points of damage.
10 points. All right. Damn. This cultist, they take an arrow to the arm, and you come up and you just like come down. He moves over to the side, and you catch him right on the shoulder, just scrape straight down his back. Fucking heretic. That's your turn. Anything else you can do?
Nope, that's pretty much it, I think, for now.
Okay, fair enough. Sabhir, you're up.
So rousing awake from that, ooh, what can I do? Do I see? I mean, I'm already up on the hill. Do I see the two on the hill with
Yes.
Vagari and okay? Oh, whoops. Go. In that case, I will roll over and grab my crossbow, and I will aim at the one next to the cloaked person.
To the cultist? Okay, go for it.
That is a 7.
7 does not hit.
Okay. I will drop that. I will grab my spear and my shield. I'll go ahead and equip my shield, making my armor class 18, and then I will start running to the campfire. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And that is it.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Bringing up the rear, you see a lizard folk run out into the fray. They are going to come up here. A little dark, but that's okay. And they're going to go ahead and make an attack on Vagari. He gets...
I don't get an attack of opportunity while he's like coming up, do I?
No, only when they leave your affected area.
Boo.
So he gets 2 melee attacks. So the first one, they're gonna go with their heavy club. That's a nat fucking 1.
Suck it,
And-
lizard man.
This lizard folk has like a shield with spikes on it. It's gonna just bash you with a shield. And I rolled a 17 to hit.
That hit.
All right.
But I'm
That
raging.
is. You're raging, right? So you take half damage. So that is going to be 4 points of damage, half to 2. So you take 2 hit points there.
Okay.
Back at the top of the round is the scout. So this Yuan T scout sees that. Well, Khadija, you're covered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they recognize Vagari as the immediate. No, they're gonna shoot. They're gonna shoot Sabhir. They don't want another contender up here, so they're gonna take They get 2 attacks. 2 ranged attacks. So the first one, that is a 16 to hit. Does not hit, right? You're at 18 at the moment, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. And then the second, fire off another one. That's even less. So the Yuan Ti, they have their quiver on their hip. They just pull 2 arrows at the same time. Release one, release the other. You bring up your shield, ting ting, and nothing lands. The cultist looks at you, Vagari, not at all happy with what you, like, with the damage that you did down his back. You see the robe fall off from how you sliced it, and you see this tattoo on his chest. It is a withered, gnarled tree. The trunk is like twisted, and it kind of forms the shape of a skull. So the branches form like 2 eyes, kind of like around his pecs. The branches all go up his neck and up his shoulders, and the trunk goes down. So they are going to yeah. All right. They extend their hand to you. You see this black ichor, sort of like if ichor could be jagged. You see, like, you know how like metal, like iron fluid, when you play with a magnet, it has like that like weird amorphous sort of thing, and it forms little spikes. That's what's coming out of his hand. And he's gonna make an attack on you. Yeah, that is gonna be an 18 to hit.
Boo.
Let me just make sure that I'm doing this. Okay.
I'm so glad I raged before this.
This is necrotic damage. Your rage does not resist necrotic damage, I believe.
Great.
You're gonna take 18 points of damage.
Really? I just died.
You just went down.
Oh my god.
What's it like to die in the campaign right before your character's supposed to start?
Right before my character's supposed to make the main campaign, I'm gonna come back as like a wizard or some shit.
You see this, the tree forms this like vine that comes out of his arm. He puts his hand on your chest, and you just feel your veins just like pop. They turn black, and you feel this pain, and you just lose consciousness, fall back on your back. Business. Get the heretic. That's its turn. Khadija.
Right,
You're
so I see her just fallen to the Yang T, not the magic guy.
She fell to the magic guy. Yeah,
Oh, the
you're
magic
looking. You saw the magic guy as the guy that did this.
Okay. I feel like he's kind of one of the leaders here. So I'm going to have Hayam go... I'm going to command Hayam to go after him. So drop the 20 feet on top of... to be on top of his head, shred it, and then fly up 30 feet.
All right, make an attack roll for Hayam.
Alright. Why are you doing this to me? This is a 9. All
Not enough. Hayam goes down to attack him. He just like creates the same black ichorish sort of form, just like wings it over his head, and Hayam just like grabs at it but doesn't find any purchase. At that point, sorry, just like it's the same. It's still your turn. You're still doing the thing. I forgot to have Nash move on his turn. Go ahead, continue.
Alright, I'm gonna roll to attack him with my bow. That's 10 plus 7. Does it 17
That'll hit. That'll hit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then I got that extra damage going.
Right.
So that'll be 3 12 damage in total.
12 damage. Okay. Khadija, how do you want to do this?
I like to think he's like shouting orders at like other people, and he like the Haya like swoops down and he like turns over and is like, "Who's commanding this?" And he looks over at me as a bow like drawn, and it just goes through his mouth, through his brainstem.
He's yelling at them, "Get the heretic, get the geode! End it all!" And he turns around to see you. Get hot! And he goes down. Is that your turn?
Yeah, it's my turn.
You still have movement, by the way.
I do, but like he's kind of busy fighting them, and I don't want them to hit me that too much.
Yeah, don't worry about this fight. That fight is
Yeah.
not something that you concern. That's just something that's happening, but that's not something that you're concerning
I
yourself
feel like
about.
thematically I should just move to over here instead, anyways.
Sure, if you want.
Yeah. That's good for the plot, right?
It's good for the plot. All right.
What's good for the plot is not dying before the main campaign.
I'll get you eventually, don't worry.
Lenny pulls out his bow. He's gonna make an attack on the archer. Damn, that's good. Yeah, that's plenty. So you see the guy in bandages. He just puts his haversack behind him, pulls a bow, and just like hits the archer right in the shoulder. Sabhir, you're up.
Did I
You
witness
just saw your
Vagari go
sister.
down?
You just saw Vagari go down.
That case, how high is that cliff?
This is a 10-foot. It's a 10-foot high cliffside.
Okay, I'm gonna walk. Well, run that close. Would I have visual on the archer?
Yes, you have visual on the archer. I'll say you do. I'll say he's going to have a +2 to his AC because of partial cover, but you do have visual.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm going to throw my spear as hard as I can, center mass, while still trying to run up.
Now, I don't know if you put this in your document, but Vagari is the most important person in your life. Seeing her go down at the moment, would that give you advantage or disadvantage regarding motivation stuff?
I think Sabhir sees red. I would love for him to have advantage,
I will let you roll this one with advantage.
but I would say I would choose not to have advantage on the hit if I have a better chance of saving her.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
I would much rather take the advantage on a medicine check than to hit.
I see. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Sure. You can take a normal attack now, and I'll let you have advantage on the medicine check when you go to check up on her.
All right. That is a 18.
18 absolutely hits. Roll for damage.
That is 7 piercing damage as I see red, start running because I'm gonna make my way up against up on the cliff, but I just fucking chuck it center mass into the archer.
It It hits right in the other shoulder. So now it has an arrow here. The spear goes through, breaks through some of the tissue and sinew and bone. Maybe not bone, but like, and it falls to the ground right next to him.
Okay.
And then you close the gap there. So your next turn, you're going to climb, right?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. I'm gonna put this on Vagari at the moment. The lizard folk sees her go down. He's gonna make his way down the hill. Actually, no, he's gonna jump off over here. Yeah, can he? What's he gonna do? Yeah, he's gonna take the 30 movement to get here. You get an attack of opportunity on the lizard folk, and I'm gonna roll
as he's jumping up above me.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
say that it's within range. I'm gonna make an athletics check for him to see how well he does. He fails his athletics check. He's gonna take fall damage. That is 4 points of fall damage to the lizard folk. You get an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Would it be with my unarmed strike, or would I be able to grab my sword and just take a swing?
You can draw your sword and take a swing.
Okay. That's going to be a 7.
7 does not hit.
Yep. Swing and a miss.
It runs, it clears the leap, you go for it, but nothing. And the lizard folk is actually going to take its turn to dash as well. So he's going to come up here. I'll say Nash takes a pot shot at him because he didn't take his shot. Yeah, that'll be enough. So just do that amount of damage. Cool. Back at the top of the round, the scout is going to go. The Yuan-Ti scout. Let me see. What are you doing, scout? It's gonna. Whoops. Trying to like. There we go. Aim things. He's gonna try to shoot Khadija. Two shots to you. Two shots to you, Khadija.
Do I have half cover or 3/4 cover?
You have 3/4 cover. Well, let me see.
I don't know what that adds to it, but
He's gonna make his way up here, and he'll be able to see you. That is a 8 and a nat 20.
oh, okay. Well, that hits.
Yep. That is 16 points of damage.
Ouch.
The Yuan-Ti runs up, gets up on the rock, pulls 2 arrows out again, takes the first shot. You dodge it like the Matrix, takes the other shot, and it was like the first shot was setting up the next shot so that when you moved like your body, they could get you right on the ribs. So you have an arrow right in your ribs. The cultist is dead. Khadija, it is your turn. What are you doing?
I'm gonna use my. The Yuan-Ti, does it only have a bow, or does it also have like melee weapons on it?
They have melee weapons on them as well.
Okay.
I'll remind you, you have a downed comrade.
Yeah.
Oh wait, did I skip their death roll? Their death saving throw? I did skip Vagari's death saving throw. So we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna experiment with. Death saving throws are going to be rolled by me, and you will not know what the roll is.
All
So,
right.
Vagari, here comes first death saving throw. Okay. Yeah, because that was the previous round. So Khadija, you're up.
Okay. I got an arrow in my ribs, and I got a downed companion, and I'm guessing Sabhir is not even in my eye line.
Sabhir is not in your eye line.
I can't make that run in one turn.
You can if you use your dash action. Your action to dash.
I have to go around this rock, or can I jump over it?
How much movement do you have?
I have 30. I could potentially have 40.
I'll tell you what. DC 15, either acrobatics or athletics, and you can ignore climbing over this rock.
Okay.
And you can use your full movement to get to Vagari.
I'm gonna roll that acrobatics. And hope I roll high enough. Oh, I got a 16. Okay, so
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna... Okay, so... bonus action shift. And turn
Mhm.
much more bestial. And then I leap over the rock and run straight towards my companion. And slide over. And with my action... I'm going to cast Good Berry. And shove a berry in her mouth.
You do have something else.
Oh yeah!
I mean, up to you. It's your call.
I haven't used any spells yet.
All right, fair enough.
But it'd be more helpful for her to...
I mean, up to you.
Because if she takes another hit while at low HP, she would probably die.
You don't know where she is on her death saving throws.
Fine, I'll use the health potion I got on her instead.
2d4 plus 2, I believe.
2d4?
Let me see. Healing potion 5e. You should have it in your equipment. Yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
Okay. So let me roll. That's a 3 and a 3.
All right. So plus 2. So that's 8.
8, yeah.
Vagari, you come back with 8 hit points.
Yes.
Arise.
I just kind of like wake up, like confused.
I'm holding you and just like, come on, get up. We're in the fight.
I don't like this. Wake up, Vagari.
You like see like a arrow sticking out of my ribs.
Oh my gosh, are you okay? What?
I'm fine.
I'm sorry, I will snap back into it. I don't even know it just happened.
Oh wait, I get temp HP because I'm shifted.
You do get temp HP because you're shifted. I will remind you that is your turn. Drinking a potion is a bonus action. Feeding a potion to somebody else is an action.
Yeah.
All right. So that's your turn. Vagari, you are no longer on death's door. It is your turn. What are you doing?
Am I still raging?
No, because you went unconscious. So you would have to rage again if you wanted to.
All right. I kind of reorient myself, and I see this guy directly in front of me. I'm pretty pissed. I'm gonna re-rage.
Okay.
And run straight toward him. And as I'm running toward him, bringing my axe down underneath me, using my running to gain momentum of the axe, and then swinging last minute to get as much momentum as I can to hit him in the side. So, attack roll, I got a 17.
That'll hit. Roll for damage.
Alright. So that would be a 7.
How would you like to do this?
Yes! So I'm raging. I sprint as hard as I can. I don't know what your friend did to me, but whatever he did, I'm going to do to you tenfold. And I swing my axe and I just uppercut him straight through the side and up, carving through his jaw.
The Yuan-Ti she.
Yes.
You bring the axe up, she just kind of stares at you and then splits in half.
Sweet.
Anything else?
I think, how much movement did I take just then? 5, 10, like 15 feet? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. From here, I can see that there's one more enemy.
You can see there's one going up the steps.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and take an additional 15 feet to run at least to like here, I guess. So I'm gonna start descending down so I can run toward him.
You can jump off of the cliffside here, but you would make an athletics check or acrobatics check to negate the fall damage.
Oof,
If you wanted to go, what?
I said I don't know if I want to take any damage right now.
Fair enough.
That's a big risk, my guy. I think I'll play it safe. Vagari's done enough.
It's actually really funny. You get up and then you just jump off the cliff.
And I die again. Save me! I've fallen off the cliff.
Like within 6 seconds, you've killed a man and then you just jump off a cliff.
And that's when we have a clip like life alert. Help! I've fallen off the cliff and I can't get up.
Life alert, sponsor us. Is that the? Yeah, that's the end of your turn. You took your action, bonus action, and movement.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sabhir, you are up. You don't necessarily see, but you hear Khadija run over, like wake Vagari up. You hear Vagari say, like, I don't know what he did to me, but I'm gonna do this to you tenfold. And then you just hear splat, and then you see her run off to the side here.
Gotcha. Run! Oh! And then I witness that. I'll see the two kobold over there. I guess. Do I have line of sight on that or no?
You do have line of sight on that, but it's not. I mean, I guess you can fight them if you want to, but it's being handled by Hilda and Nash. I don't have them in combat order because I don't want to bog down combat and have 11 people on the turn initiative.
That's
so
fine.
that you guys are waiting for 11 people to go. But you can attack them if you want.
Do it.
Okay.
Live it up.
I gotcha. The guy up on the hill is also in visual sight.
Yes.
Okay. I guess witnessing sister fall and then her slice a person in half and then run down. I would. Yeah, I would run to Vagari.
All right.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and yeah, I'll I do not know what to do.
Panic.
You can take your action to dash. I will say, the lizard folk that ran on, that jumped over you, and then you going the opposite direction of the lizard folk, Nash does kind of turn to you like, what in the fucking hell do you think you're doing? We got people to protect here, man. Get your fucking head in the game. She's a warrior. She's fine. Fucking do your goddamn duty that we're paying you to do.
I am protecting, and I'll dash into the kobolds, and I'll use my bonus action to daunting roar, and the people that are alive need to succeed on a wisdom save of DC 14.
That is 2 failures.
They are frightened.
All right, they are frightened. They'll take their things on. Fair enough. They'll take their attacks on disadvantage. Is that the end of your turn?
That is now the end of my turn.
Fair enough. I'm gonna have Nash turn around. Motherfucker. Fucking goddamn green fucking paw. He's gonna run this way. He's gonna take a shot. Yeah, that'll be enough. Yeah, let's go. He pulls out his revolver. Pop, pop. It shoots the lizard folk, and he is undeterred. the lizard folk is going to continue his path here. He comes into here. Lenny's going to take an attack at disadvantage. Misses. Khadija, that is your turn.
Okay, I see this lizard folk running around.
Yep, you see him. He's running up to Lenny.
I'm going to sick Haya at him.
All right, go for it.
Oh, whoops. They grabbed me. Okay. I am used shred. He got an 18 plus
Pokemon.
5, so 23! He
We're gonna
finally
put-
hit something!
We're gonna put you. Haim can't occupy the same space, so we're just putting him next to him. Okay. That'll be enough to hit. Roll for damage.
Okay. Okay, that's a 4 plus 5, so 9 slashing damage.
How does Haim want to finish off this lizard folk?
I like
Yes.
to imagine the lizard folk is like really focused, and suddenly he was like, and he like turns like, what? And then like is like, and because he turns to look over at Haim, Haim has a perfect like angle to like sort of like have his wings out and have his feet sort of swing underneath him, and then go straight for the throat.
He goes straight for the throat, and the lizard folk that has its sword and shield, it, for all of its weaponry and armament and its thick hide, Haim just kind of, and they both, Haim just kind of somersaults him essentially, just grabs him from under the throat, and like flips upward, does like a barrel roll essentially, and the lizard folk falls into the water below. Yeah, we can finish this combat out, I suppose. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's
and
just...
with my main action, can I shoot at one of these guys?
Yeah, for sure. Make an attack roll.
Cool, that sounds rad. I got a... Sorry,
You have greater than
15.
10 feet of height above them, so do so at advantage.
Okay, cool. That did, the next roll was a 2, so I got a 16.
Yeah, that'll hit. Are you aiming for one of the kobolds or the hyena that one of the kobolds is riding?
I want to aim for the kobold, on the hyena.
All right. Yeah, roll damage.
Cool. I will. I'm also gonna apply the last of my favorite foe thingy McBob on top of that, which gives me a D4.
Go for it.
Oh, that was the wrong die. So that'll be 7. Sorry. I gotta go through all the tabs. 7, 10. 10 piercing damage.
I'll tell you what. The kobolds have 5 hit points. So here's what happens. Sabhir runs up, roars at the kobolds, just "Rah!" This kobold falls off, and as he's falling off the hyena out of fear, the arrow goes through the first kobold's head and then into the second kobold's head, like perfectly lined shot, and you kill them both.
Just adds to the legend.
Khadijah's basically a boss.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it is what it is. And I believe that's the end of your turn, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Lizard folk is dead. Vagari, what would you like to do?
Is there anything
This-
even alive anymore?
There's the hyena, but it's starting. It's doesn't look like very happy with its situation.
Oh, okay, it was blending into the background.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's why I marked them purple.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah, it's not happy with its situation, so it's starting to. It's turning tail to run.
That's fair. I'm going to use Charger to go.
Start on your square. You got to start on your square. There you go.
I'll go 30 feet diagonal.
That's the horse.
That's a horse.
That's a
The
horse, right?
hyena. This is a hyena.
Well, I was purposely going to go that way and then shift and run an additional 15 feet so I can get my Charger ability.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean,
Oh.
you could just occupy this space because the kobold is dead. So
Okay,
you
that's fair.
so
I
it's
didn't want to like run and like trample through all the dead people.
I mean, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but you can also
Nah,
like
Yeah.
she
go that
fearless runner.
way.
She can run over the dead people if it's permissible.
Yeah, it's permissible. Yeah.
All right, cool. So
I got my boots covered in blood. No.
if it is permissible with you, I shall prance over the dead people. And so I'm gonna charge straight at the wolf, and then using my dash action, getting an extra 5 damage if I hit to swing
You
my
don't-
axe at it.
You have enough movement to where you can take your normal attack as well. So you can actually use your bonus action to do its charger feat because you move the distance necessary. But then you can also take your action to attack as well. So you can make two hits on the hyena.
Oh yeah, because I didn't use a bonus action yet. So I would hit twice. I
Yeah.
see. Okay, well then I'll do that. I will hit it twice with my great axe.
Go for it.
So I will roll for the first attack. I got a 22. And then
22 will definitely hit. Yeah.
the second to hit was only a 13, so I don't know if that hit or not.
13 does hit.
Okay, so the first one for damage is a 14 damage.
Okay.
And then the second one is 17 damage.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Sabhir, you're up.
Damn,
Oh,
this thing's
okay.
strong.
It's a giant hyena. Giant hyenas are fucking huge, and it has taken some damage from Hilda, but it does not look like it's in a good condition. So you come up, you like bash it with the axe to bring the hind legs up, and as the hind legs are up, you bring your axe around and just like slash across the back leg. So both legs are looking very bad, not functional, and it's just dragging its way, trying to drag itself away. Sabir, you're up.
In that case, with short sword in hand, I will run and jump and try to sink my sword into the back of its skull.
Make an attack roll with advantage.
That is going to be a 16.
16 will definitely hit.
Okay.
It literally has 1 hit point. How would you like to do this?
Just like I said, I witnessed Vagari have the strength to come back from, being down and basically cleave into this wolf. And yeah, I'll run up, jump, and it's a big creature, right?
It's a giant hyena. It is considered a large creature.
Yeah, so I'll run, jump, and then I'll put one hand out, grab the fur on its back, so that way I can like yank myself towards it. And as I'm doing that, I'll just place the short sword in the back of its neck, and just kind of like jam it in.
You jump up, grab its mane or its hair behind, jab the sword in. Make a wisdom saving throw, please.
That is going to be a 17.
17. Khadija and Vagari, I would like you to deafen yourselves for a moment, please. And if Matt, our cameraman, could also deafen himself, I will do this sign when it is okay to undeafen yourselves.
Okay.
Oh, Amanda took hers off. And Matt, please. Hi, mortal kind. This is Marco from the future. I'm very sorry about the technical difficulties that we had in this moment, but I'll give you a quick readout as to what we were saying in the moment. After Sabhir finished off the hyena, he saw the spirit of the hyena walk out from its body. It had the skull, hyena skull, but a full normal hyena body, as well as next to the hyena was a kobold of the same type, full normal body, but a skull of the kobold. He saw that they turned back to look at him and then just continued off into the desert when they disappeared into the distance.
And we back.
Khadija. Khadija. Khadija.
Yeah.
Thank you kindly.
Vogue.
And that is the end of our combat.
Oof. Rough,
I will
my
leave
guy.
the blade into in the hyena, and I will immediately drop everything and go rush over to the Vagari and start checking over the wounds.
Go for it.
Are you okay?
Kevin, yes, I am fine. I know, I worried you. I know. Don't worry. I am fine. Thankfully, I think, was it Khadija that helped?
I
Because
do not
frankly,
know. I was at.
I am a blur. I completely blacked out. The last thing I remember is just a cool, icy feeling going through my veins. I felt some discoloration. I saw discoloration in my veins and my wrists, and then next thing I know, I wake up and it's just we're still in the middle of battle. So everything happened so fast. I have no idea.
I'm glad you're here with me.
Yes, I'm glad that it all worked out. Like I said, Davin, no need to worry. You know, you've seen some of my fights. Things have gotten a lot worse than this, and we always manage to pull through. So I'm sorry I scared you, and hopefully it won't happen again. And I just give him a big hug.
And I reciprocate the big hug, and
I'll get better at healing.
Oh,
I
don't
can't
put it
lose
on
you.
you. Don't put it on you. It's, early night. I think, frankly, I was also very exhausted before we even got here. I wasn't at my best, and it definitely showed. But don't worry, I'm strong. You know I'm strong. We will get through things. Where
Of
is
course.
Khadija anyway?
She's still up on the hill.
She's just looking
Okay.
really cool with the wind blowing.
Like,
And Hayam lands on your shoulder.
Yeah, I'm like, call Hayam over, and he's all
Maybe
covered in
it's
blood.
Maybelline.
And like
Um,
my bestial features start to fade off.
Khadija, you take a look over at where the lizard folk lies in the pool. You look down on the pool as Hayam lands on your shoulder, and you look up, and the bandaged character, Lenny, he just kind of...
I point out and say, we're gonna talk soon. And I gotta go
Well-
check up on my charges. I will come in an appropriate time for whenever you guys are done with your conversation.
you just
Like a road
after the
runner.
ocean being 30 miles away.
I mean, if I hold on to like the shiftedness, I'd just be like, zoom.
300 miles away.
Yes.
Yeah. But now you guys see, like, I just like the features come off.
Khadija, I am so thankful if it was you that helped me back there. I really, I think my exhaustion really got the better of me, and that wasn't my normal self. I apologize, and I really do owe you my life.
It's quite alright. I'm quite used to doing things like this anyways.
Well,
Thank you.
You're alive and walking.
Yes, the notoriety in your name that everybody keeps speaking of definitely precedes itself. I think your skills give you the notoriety that everyone speaks of. Is everybody else in the camp okay?
I believe so. I don't think they managed to attack anyone from what I saw.
You look over. Nash is tending to everybody, Hilda is standing there with you guys, and she just is kind of... She's a little wide-eyed at Sabhir, and she looks a little concerned for Vagari. But she just says, that was an excellent job. Fantastic. We shall debrief after. I need to go confer with Nash and make sure everyone is okay. So she steps away. She's going to go with Nash. They're going to, tend to everybody else.
I do have a question for you too.
Sure, what is it?
Why did you continue attacking the hyena? It was gonna run away, I'm pretty sure.
Well, as far as I know, I mean, everything's happened so fast. I was at the brink of dying. I saw that, it was very close. I didn't know if it was going to perhaps turn around, try attacking from behind, so I just did what I instinctively thought was best at the time.
It could have been another scouting party. The hyena could have gone back to wherever the camp is and brought more. At least give us a day of rest instead of them finding out in the middle of the night.
All right. Fair enough.
Well,
Right.
on that note, I guess, Davin, if you want to grab your sword, I do have this crocodile pelt. I think this wolf pelt is very dense and high quality. We should probably save the pelt as well and go tend to the others.
Yes. I can start skinning.
The hyena pelt? Yeah, go make a survival check.
Okay. While they do that, I'm gonna go talk to Lenny. Then I don't need to be around for skinning.
That is a 9.
You can get advantage because you're doing it with Vagari.
Natural 20.
Hell yeah.
Aw,
You
she's
guys
just
collect-
warm.
For a 25.
Who needs a bear skin rug when you can have a perfect hyena skin rug? You know what I mean? Like, it's perfect. Well done.
Yeah. Awesome. Fuck yeah. Perfect hyena rug in the inventory.
Khadija, you're gonna speak to Lenny?
Yeah.
He's up on his little cliff up here. The cliff companion, the dwarf with the big glasses, is just like terrified in the corner, just kind of like looking around, just like.
I like to think that Hayam smells the fear and just kind of lands next to him and like slowly inches closer.
Make an intimidation check for Hayam.
I don't think
With
it's gonna
advantage.
actually bite, but
Yeah, go for it.
does he have any charisma? It's a very good question.
You get advantage.
I don't know if he does have. Okay, it's an 8 and a 17, plus or minus whatever.
This poor dwarf that has been terrorized all night at a fucking attack with crazy cultist people is even more terrified of your blood-winged hawk.
I ignore it because I know how Hayam is. He's a shit. And I go up to Lenny. So, Lenny, is he sitting down or is he standing?
He's putting his bow down next to his haversack, and he stands up, turns to you.
Do you know who those people were?
No clue.
Do you know why they were here?
No idea. It's a hell of a shot, though. And a hell of a bird.
It is quite the bird. And I am quite the shot. But can I make an insight check on him? Like I
Sure.
feel like I already know I know he's lying as a spell.
Make an insight check. Go for it.
Okay, that's a 19 plus 5, so 24.
He's not even trying to lie.
Yeah. Are we going to continue being in danger because of you? I need to know what I'm facing here. I deal with the unexpected every day, but so much of that is being prepared.
He takes a step closer, kind of leans in. He's like, could have taken care of it all. I'm glad y'all were here. I wouldn't let anybody get hurt. He looks over your shoulder to Vagari, talking to Sabhir. Permanently, that is.
I'd look down at the arrow still sticking out of me. Yeah, you're real good at that.
You know, I said permanently, all right? And he just like pulls out of the back. He's like, "Here you go." And he gives you a regular healing potion to replenish them. Feel bad that your friend went down, so use that. I'll tell you this. That guy... With him out, I think that we shouldn't have any problems for the rest of the road.
Are you carrying something dangerous with you?
He looks back at his bow. Aren't you? He looks at your bow.
That's very cliche of you to say.
I'm an unoriginal guy. And while he is wrapped entirely in bandages, and you see these goggles, they look kind of like owl eyes, like the nose portion looks like an owl's beak, and they've got like little like horned owl things on the end. You can totally tell that he's smiling, despite the fact that he's entirely bandaged up.
You enjoy putting a lot of people in danger?
No, my job's keep people safe. Trying to prevent the danger. But I'm not a miracle worker.
Clearly.
Nobody at the camp was hurt. The warriors did what they were supposed to do. You guys did your job, I did mine. Everybody's fine. As far as I see it, smooth victory.
Oof. You do know that cultists don't give up, right? On their target?
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
I've been taking notes! 18 and a 7, so the 18 plus 3, 21.
He takes off his wrap, takes off his goggles. You see he has a scar from the nose down his right side to the back of his cheek. Human-ish looking. You can't quite tell very well in the dark exactly what his race is, but he has like human-esque features. Black hair parted down the middle. Slightly tan skin and like a 5 o'clock shadow. I'm well aware. I promise you. It's not gonna happen again. That's that guy. It's over. For this trip at least. He puts his goggles back on and starts to wrap himself up again.
I'm trying to. I don't think he has any idea who I am, though. He's
Make an insight check.
okay. Are you 12?
You're not sure.
How big scale of a problem is this?
You can see him smile under the bandages. You can't begin to imagine. You have yourself a good night. And he turns around to go back to like his bedroll.
Alright. I pick up my bird away from the poor man.
Terrorized dwarf.
I love Haya. I love my shitty little bird.
after ensuring that everybody's okay, all the stuff, Nash and Hilda call you guys over. Right, well, that was very well handled. Nash, would you mind? I'm on it, Hilly. And he stands up, he walks away, and you see him go to talk to Len. So he and Len are having their own conversation. Well, that was a fantastic job, all of you. Vagari, are you alright?
Yes, I'm alright. I think after a long rest I will feel much better. It's been a long couple of days.
Yeah, a good night's sleep will do us all some good. I feel I must apologize. We weren't expecting... bandits are fairly common. It is not... usually not a problem. Honestly, Nash and I myself can handle them. Generally, we just need someone to stand watch while we sleep. Typically. But that robed person... I apologize for putting you all at the level of danger that we faced here tonight. We will try to expedite our journey to Haya, and I will make sure that the other mercenaries and sellswords and escorters are duly informed about the attack here tonight.
That does sound alright, and I will say a little bit of extra compensation wouldn't hurt.
No, absolutely, Vagari. No, I fully understand. And Gesundheit, Sabhir.
It's the air.
I see that. Is there anything you all wish to say? Any questions?
Have you ever seen this cultist before? These robes.
I am not familiar with the order that they are from, but the attack I was telling you from a while back, it would appear that one of the bandits had a medal with the same symbol, the skull made out of a tree.
Skull with a tree. I will say, before I went down, that is something that I noticed on, was it the sorcerer or whoever was using the magic? He had a tattoo directly on his chest, it seemed.
Yeah, that is what I'm talking about.
I will inspect it later while I'm disposing of the bodies.
Do you think maybe it could be signifying a cult of some sort, or?
Yes.
As I said, I am not familiar with the symbol, but it has cropped up twice now. I will be doing some research into this and seeing the level of threat that this may have. Khadija, I noticed you speaking to Len. Any valuable information that you gleaned?
Not particularly valuable information, I'm afraid. But I do suspect cult activity to be rising. Be very careful.
It appears that Nash knows.
And I'll point up as they're talking to each other.
No, I have sent Nash to interrogate Lenny and ensure that we have all the information that we need. If someone is tracking him, we should be aware for our efforts, for our protection. People who are engaged in such activities, and she like looks up at them talking, kind of gives Lenny the stink eye. Should make it known to those they are traveling with if they are in danger. Nash starts to walk away from Lenny. Thank you all very much for a job incredibly well done tonight. Please find some rest. Khadija, you and I will finish our watch in a few hours. Sabhir, we will wake you. And after that, you will let Vagari and Nash know about their watch. Anything else before you all turn in?
I think I'd like to speak to Khadija in private.
Dija, right. I keep saying Khadija. It's Dija. By all means.
And I'll lead you off to the side. Vagari, you're welcome to come.
Well, Davin, do you need me here? Because honestly, I'm extremely exhausted. I think it's best for me to go to sleep if it's not necessary.
Please, go to sleep. My questions is for you, Khadija. What do you know about this Lenny? For I'm to be up with watch with him. If he's shady, I would like to know.
I do not believe he means you any harm. He does not believe there will be any more attacks this night. But it's difficult to say the caliber of him. If you're nervous about spending the night on watch with him, you could take my watch right now, and I'll take yours.
I just want to know if I have to be careful, or if I can trust him.
I don't believe he will stab you in the back this night. But I don't think having the warmest regards will be wise, though.
Understood. I will keep an ever watchful eye.
And I'll go up on the hill next to the physician dwarf.
I want to check the bodies real quick, see if they have any sort of artifacts on them or whatever.
Yeah, go for it. Make an investigation check.
Oh no. Can someone
Actually,
help
wait.
me do this?
Would I be able to provide help since I did say that I would dispose of the bodies earlier?
You may provide the help action, yes.
Thank you.
You also may want to just do the check yourself and have her help you.
My first roll is a 6 minus 2 is a 4, so my second roll
God.
is a 14 minus 2, which is a 12.
What do you find?
I don't
on
usually
these?
do the cleanup. I usually kill things and then move on. Okay. That's for the servants to clean up the bodies.
Okay. So, on the lizard folk, there is a spiked shield, a javelin, a heavy club. There's other various little trinkets and knickknacks, mostly made out of like bone and wood and stone and stuff like that. But that's pretty much what the lizard folk has on them. The scout has a short sword and a longbow. They have some basic leather armor, just standard leather. Total on them, you find 27 gold pieces. Yeah. You find 2 standard healing potions. One on the scout, one on the cultist.
Okay.
The cultist has a dagger, and the cultist has the same emblem that's tattooed on their chest. They have a medallion with it. They have a medallion with that symbol that's on a bracelet, essentially.
Okay, I'm going to take that medallion then.
Fair enough. You gather that this is kind of sort of like an arcane focus a little bit. It is magical in nature.
Does it have like the symbol like on the chest?
Yeah, the same symbol that's on the chest is on the medallion that was on his bracelet. It's like their arcane focus holy symbol.
Alright, I'm gonna gonna pocket that.
Okay.
I'm gonna give both the potions to Sabhir.
And he also has leather armor. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Sabhir, you can add 2 healing potions to your equipment.
Understood.
You say you're a healer, correct? Maybe it's good for you to hold this.
Thank you. Now we can diversify the heals. But I thank you again.
And be sure to share this with your sister. I'm going to give him 20 of the 27 gold.
Nice.
All right.
So you and Vagari, Sabhir and Vagari, you can add 10 gold to your total.
Sabhir?
Yes. While she's sleeping, I will go ahead and throw it in her pack without her noticing.
You put it under her pillow like the tooth fairy.
Yeah.
Do you put
Here.
anything else in her pack?
Yeah, actually. That little stone that I bought.
Which you don't have to. You can do that, later. But
No, little stone that reminds me of her.
Fair
Actually,
enough.
no, the yellow one, the burnt orange one.
Fair enough. All right. If everything is done, Vagari and Sabir, you guys can go to sleep. Khadija, you can make a perception check with advantage because you're doing this with Hilda.
Hilda. 14.
Hilda.
16 plus 7.
That is also a Dimension 20 nod.
23.
23. All is quiet. You guys go to bed. Sabhir, you and Lenny take your guys' watch.
Gotcha.
Anything in particular you'd like to speak to him about?
Not necessarily, but if we set up watch, I'll probably talk to him.
Was it my eyes? Or was the lizard folk coming after you? You do have an air of mystery.
I like to keep it that way. Maybe the lizard folk was attacking the whole thing. Who knows what those wackos wanted?
It is pretty weird for a formation to break apart like that and make a beeline up the hill in your direction. And with the cultist screaming heretic.
Well, I guess by definition, anyone who doesn't believe what they would believe is a heretic. Isn't that right?
Yes. What do you believe?
Make a persuasion check.
It's going to be an 8.
I believe in nice, home-cooked meals, the love of an honest woman, and my feet by a warm fire.
So we're playing 2 truths and a lie.
Or maybe just lies.
People are known to cheat.
I am people.
Yes. Yes, you are. I'd like to know more about you, but I don't know. I don't know if I truly want it.
I don't think you do.
They say you're not a danger. Or creating danger. But if this continues, I will leave you out in the desert.
Duly noted, Lion Man.
And you can find your own way back.
And I'll walk away, and I'll go towards the aquifer.
As you start to walk away, he kind of like, hey, wait.
Yes.
The big one, the northerner.
What about her?
She okay?
Now you care?
I never said I didn't.
Your body posture did.
Sometimes you gotta stay a little guarded.
She'll be fine. She heals quick.
All right.
Just,
He just sits.
don't close your eyes.
Wouldn't dream of it. Eyes never shut. He got his goggles on.
Gotcha. I'll walk to the aquifer, and would I be able to? I don't know where are we doing the?
That's entirely up to you. Where do you want to keep watch?
Well, I'd like to keep watch at least on the like where the campfire is at, since that's the entrance.
Over here? Yeah, sure.
And then with him, but then I would like to break away and go to the aquifer area.
It's like a little well. Aquifer is like underground.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
I'd like to go to
Yeah.
the well area, and then try to hide.
Make a stealth check with advantage.
That is a. I have disadvantage because of the chain shirt, but so that equals out. Or I got a 17.
Okay. Are you trying to hide from Lenny?
Yes.
Yeah. He doesn't. To the best of your ability, to the best of your knowledge, you have disappeared from his sight.
Gotcha. I'd like to try to climb up and go to where the physician is and see if his notes or his logbook is out in the open.
Okay.
Does he see Haya menacing over him still? Like he just went back.
I mean, where are you sleeping, and where is I'm assuming Hayam is sleeping with you at this point.
Yeah, but I also feel like Hayam has the soul of a cat and might menace someone at night.
We'll put Hayam up on this cliff here, and he's just like watching over this dwarf. For some reason, he's decided to terrorize. Make an you're gonna climb the wall. Make either an acrobatics or an athletics check. I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be a DC 15
15.
to not break your stealth. All right, and now make a perception check. Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
All right, make a perception check to see what this dwarf has out and about.
21.
If you're not touching anything and going through stuff, the notepad is not out in the open.
Gotcha. Is there anything of note out in the open?
Just normal stuff. He's got his bedroll. He's got his backpack, which is closed. He is sleeping in his clothes, so you don't know if the notepad is on his person or if it's in his backpack.
I'd like
Aside from
to.
that, nothing else.
I'd like to try to open up the backpack and see if it's in there.
Okay, make an investigation check. I'm gonna say you're gonna need to make another stealth check
Okay.
because you're getting right up. You have chainmail. You're getting right up in him. The backpack is. I will let you know. Okay, before you decide to do this,
Okay.
the backpack. He's kind of using the backpack as like a sort of backrest. So it's between him and he's nuzzled up against the wall of the cliff, and he's pressing his body against the backpack. So It's up to you.
Okay.
You can do an investigation check, but you will do a stealth check at disadvantage.
Hashtag YOLO. Oh no. So that's a 5 on stealth. And then investigation.
Nope. He's gonna wake up
That's a-
before you can get to the bag. And he's gonna
Sorry,
What do you-
I don't mean to wake you, but
Why are you leaning on top of me like this?
I'm trying to keep it down. I have realized, physician to physician, that I am not well versed in it. I didn't really want to make this known in the morning, as people who I try to protect. I want to keep it a secret. But I was wondering if you would be willing to show me, teach me.
Make a persuasion
least
check
a
at
little.
disadvantage.
All right. So that's a 4. And that's a 4.
Me.
I think it would be best if you leave me alone. Please.
Understood. Could you at least point me in the direction of training? Where did you study?
I
will let you sleep after this, I swear.
Oh my god. Back home we have I pick up things here and there. I read a lot. Not one place. I just travel and I'm doing research on the plants in this area in the north of Alkut, south, downriver from the Nar. What? There are other people that you could potentially talk to about this.
I made a promise. Sweet dreams.
Okay.
But watch out.
And I'll point at Hayam. And I'll walk away.
This poor terrorized dwarf.
Good night.
Oh my god.
Well, he's gonna have a point of exhaustion because he's not going back to bed that night.
Poor man.
Perception check with advantage for your watch. Lenny will be giving you advantage, or you can have 2 different perception.
17.
17. Your watch goes by quiet and clearly. Do you wake up Nash or do you wake up Vagari?
I wake up Nash first. Let Vagari sleep a little bit more.
Lenny was gonna go wake up Vagari if you don't.
That's fine.
Okay. You wake up Nash, you go take your sleep. Lenny's gonna go. Hey, Vagari? Was it Vagari?
Yes, and I'm sorry, it was Lenny, correct?
Yeah, Lenny.
I guess, why are you even awake right now? You're not on watch.
No, I did the watch with your, with the Lion Man. With
Oh,
the,
yes, that's right. I'm sorry. This night has just really gotten to my head. Well, I guess, on that note, it's obviously time for me, so I guess have a good night.
Well, he like, you go to stand up and he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and like sits you down. Before you take your watch, I just wanted to apologize for what happened to you today. I've lost people in my life. Clear that you two care a lot about each other and you have a strong bond, and I wouldn't wish that grief on anybody else. So as somebody who, he kind of like looks over to make sure that nobody else is like watching or like coming close or whatever. I feel like you deserve to know what you almost died protecting. He brought his haversack down, puts it out, he opens it, he pulls out a big bundle of, it looks like cloth and towels and other things like wrapped in a ball. And he opens it and he hands you, it's like a inside out geode. It is a circular oval sort of shaped thing with crystals on it, and he hands it to you.
Oh, what in the world is...
I
I've never
could-
seen anything like this before.
I could get killed for taking this out of my bag. But after what you went through tonight, I feel like you deserve to take a look at it.
Well, can you tell me what's so special about this? It looks like just a crystal formation to me.
That has hidden properties that I am not at liberty to discuss. But what you're holding is the future.
Well, that's a lot of strong words for just a pretty rock. Are you sure you can't tell me anything else?
I've already done a lot more than I would be allowed to do. And he opens the cloth again to receive it. He doesn't take it from you, but he's just waiting for you to put it back in.
Okay, well, and I'm just very carefully, as if I'm holding the world in my hands, okay, well, here you go. I don't want to drop it or break, so please take.
Wraps it, puts it back in, closes the haversack, slings it over his shoulder. I would appreciate it if this privileged interaction stayed between you and me, and not anybody else, including your two traveling companions.
Well, between us as well, I know you opened up about your past. My past has not been particularly easy, and I've lost people too in a way, and so I appreciate your trust, and again, I hope that you have a good night. No worries about me, I'm fine. I just needed some rest.
Have a good quiet watch.
All right,
Thank you.
You have a good quiet sleep, hopefully. I hope we don't get ambushed again.
Don't think we will.
And at this point, I get up. Do I know where the caravan, these caravans that are depicted in Roll20 that are kind of scattered throughout, are those the caravans we're traveling with, or are the caravans
Yeah, no, these are the caravans you're traveling with. I'm going to say that this one and this one, the two on the west side of the camp, are the caravans that you're traveling with. This is a broken down caravan that just sits here. This just stays here. It's a regular installment of this particular canyon. Like I said, these canyons are used regularly for the caravans that are traveling. This one is just one that's broken down there. Nobody's bothered to, move it, replace it. Some of the wheels are broken, the hinges, whatever. Axle broken. Yeah.
Okay, well then, at that point, I guess I'll post up and take watch by the campfire.
Okay. Make a perception check. Nash sits down with you if you want to talk to him.
Well,
You don't have
for the
to.
time
You
being, I'll
can just
be
have your-
quiet. I'm just pondering what just happened with the interaction before. I got 11 for perception.
You get advantage because Nash is doing this with you.
Truth, okay. So 17.
17. Yeah, your watch goes by undisturbed. As the sun begins to rise in the east, you do start to hear a little bit of scatterings of canyon-dwelling creatures. The wind starts to pick up slowly. Nash just kind of nods at you, just good job last night. That was really well done.
Well, I don't know if it was well done. It was done. I'm still alive, thank God. But, I think, like I have been saying, lots of moving parts over the past couple of days, much exhaustion, and I mean, frankly, I don't know what it is they were after. I don't know if you can tell me any more, but it seems that
they were obviously after something, somebody with that kind of power. I mean, I've never seen magic used like that before, and I've never experienced damage like that before in my life. Normally, I'm always in combat and physical combat with others. Doesn't seem like something we should take lightly.
Nah, I completely agree. I spoke to Lenny. He's confident that this shouldn't happen again, but we should still keep our wits about us, huh?
But I mean, what makes you so confident? Because we haven't really been on the road for that long and it's already happened once. Why would you be so confident it's not going to happen a second time?
I'll say he's a very convincing individual.
And I don't really know what you're supposed to mean by that.
I don't really know what I'm supposed to mean by that either.
Okay, well, I will say it seems that people that we're traveling with are being very ambiguous with what they're willing to share. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I think that confidence in people establishes trust and success and missions. And it seems that if we don't even know what it is that we're supposed to be protecting, how are we supposed to do a good job? If this is as important as everybody says it is, and everybody is being so secretive, you'd think that you would at least want your protectors to know more.
Yeah, I agree. We'll keep an eye on that Lenny character for sure. Everybody else I think is fine, except for that poor guy with the glasses that keeps getting terrorized.
You mean by Davin?
Yeah, seems like Sabhir's kind of taken to terrorizing this poor little dwarf guy.
Yes, he does take a liking to people, and sometimes it comes off a little bit strong, but he means well. You say... I don't know. I feel like with how you talk about Lenny versus the rest of them, it seems like maybe we shouldn't trust Lenny? Is that what you're getting at?
I don't trust him. I trust his word that that we won't be attacked again by the same situation. There might be bandits still on the road, but I don't think the cultists will be attacking again. He seems pretty confident about that. I trust him in that regard. Beyond that, I'm keeping a thorough eye on him.
Okay, I just got the impression when we first started this journey that perhaps you guys were a little bit more in sync with one another, but maybe there is something that I don't know that, again, you're just not willing to tell me.
I met him for the first time on this trip, but I'll tell you. Make a persuasion check at advantage.
That would be a 15.
15. All right, I'll tell you this. You know Hilda and I served with the Blightland Fighters. Which you may not know exactly what they are. But Lenny is, from what he told me, and if he's to be trusted, serving a similar cause. And with that, I trust him what he has to say for the rest of this journey.
You said Blightland Fighters.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
Make a history check with advantage. DC 12.
Well, that's great. I got a 4.
You may have heard the term Blightland Fighter here and there. You know that it's in Sagen primarily as like the base of operation of the Blightland Fighters. Like it's a Sagen thing. That's pretty much all you know. It's something from Sagen.
Okay.
From across the Saphir Sea. Well,
okay.
The Blightland Fighters is an organization dedicated to protecting or to keeping the horrors from the Blightland from affecting the rest of the world. Blightland is this cursed area outside of Sagen on its own peninsula. Remnants of, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Great Punishment.
It sounds familiar. Happened a long time ago.
Yeah, very long time ago. So there's still monstrosities, aberrations, and all sorts of horrid stuff down there, up there. And the Blightland fighters keep the border protected. Lenny is not a Blightland fighter, but he's serving a similar cause from what I gather.
Interesting.
You know, just because you work with someone, you can trust them to have your back, and you can trust them to do their job. But that doesn't necessarily mean you can trust them to get personal with. You know what I mean?
Yes, that does make sense, I suppose. It seems that whatever his cause, there is a lot on the line, and if you're talking about these horrors, that spell that was cast was certainly a horror from being on the receiving end of it, so perhaps that is somehow related, and I don't really know much more than that, other than what you've told me.
Well, Hildy and I are gonna report this. We got some contacts still with the fighters, so we're gonna reach out to some contacts, see if we can get some information off them and see what's up.
Okay, well, I think that sounds like a good plan moving forward.
Yeah. But sun's coming up, so we better get a move on. Let's mosey on out. Let's wake everybody up. Hildy, let's hit the road, girl. Let's go. Everybody starts to rouse. You start packing things up, getting everything together. Khadija, at one point, as you guys are on the road, at some point in time, Hilda comes up to you, and she just like pets Hayam. I think that's sufficient. I rolled like a 12. Let's say call it like 14. She's talking to you, petting Hayam, but looking at Sabhir, and being like, even the runts can be impressive.
Yes.
That lion has the heart of one for sure.
He's quite fearsome.
Keep an eye on that one.
That's the whole job.
You all ride off into the sun for the next few days. It's pretty quiet. It seems like the biggest danger is past, and you make your way to Haya. And with that, we are going to end tonight's session.
Meh.
Thank you all very much for joining. Have a good night, and tune in for our next installment in Haya.
Yes. Booyah!
Yeah.
Have a good night.